Hi and welcome along to AFTV. We are ready for the 24-hour live stream. Football fans for the NHS. We're going to be raising lots of money today for the NHS, and we've got so many guests coming on. And my first guest for the day, I'm going to bring him in.
How we doing? How we doing?
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm ready for it. Get donating. We're ready for it, and we've got a massive 24 hours ahead. Lots and lots planned. Lots of work gone into it, and now it's your turn to get involved. So let's do it.
Definitely. It doesn't matter what club you follow. You know, you could be unfortunate to follow Man United like Mark. You could be an Arsenal fan. You could even be a Tottenham fan. You could be any fan of any football club. We want to get everybody involved. This is football fans for the NHS. We've got a Just Giving page, which you can donate on. It's if you get over there, it's football fans for the NHS. Also, you can see on your screen, there's 2 barcodes there. So you just scan those barcodes and that takes you straight over onto the page and donate whatever you've got. Whatever you've got. If you've got a load of money you want to donate, if you ain't got much, but you want to donate, it still helps. As Tesco say, every little helps. And we will appreciate every last drop. Everything that is earned today is going to go to the NHS. The money that we earn off of this stream and super chats and that's going to go to the NHS as well. So please get involved throughout the day. And we're going to be kicking it off now. We're going to be running up until 3 o'clock. Then at that time, Mark?
Yeah, 3 o'clock. We'll take over on the United Stand. I think DT's coming over with me. Robbie's going to be for a bit. We've got a really good. What we're going to try and do, what we are going to do, is entertain you for 24 hours. So 3 o'clock, I've got DT. We're doing a £200 million challenge. He's Arsenal, I'm United. How are we going to spend it? But then we're going to do Chelsea, Spurs. We're going to do loads of Premier League clubs with 200 million. What we'd spend it on.
We've never seen 200 million.
I know it's monopoly money, but you know what? We're in lockdown. Let's have a bit of fun. And then we've got the quiz at 9 o'clock. Robbie, Robbie's going to duck it, I think. But we've got Claude.
I might come. 200 million. Yeah, I bet DT has about 100 million left. He's going to be spending like Stan Kroenke.
Be interesting to see, because you probably ain't got any money. It's the only 200 million Arsenal are going to spend, but it's going to happen on the 24-hour stream. And I doubt we're going to spend 200 million either, but it'll be good laugh. I've got loads and loads of stuff. I'm sure you're going to do it as well. People have sent us in. Can you do who's better between these players? Who's overrated? We've got combined 11s. We'll have breaking news, because I'm sure there's going to be Arsenal news during the day. There'll be United news. There'll be Spurs news. So we got it on. We're excited. We're looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, remember the other day we had that big argument when was it I don't know if I was on you or you was on you was on here, and you were trying to tell me that treble winning team was better than the.
I wasn't crying. I was telling you.
Not having it, and we had a big argument over it. People, what are you saying? I'm putting it right out there right now. The Arsenal Invincibles or Man United's trip. What year was that? Was it 99 you won it?
What year was that? Come on. You drew 12 times. I like what you're trying to do. It's good. But you know what?
Listen, man, I'm telling you, that team, I'm sorry, right? We went invincible for a whole season. Simple as that. We went invincible, and you can't compete with that. Here's a super chat that's just come in, and really appreciate that. And again, this will go as part of the donation. It's Zane. He says, big up the NHS. Pogba is a pub team player, Mark. Ooh.
Zane's obsessed by Pogba. Like you wouldn't take him at Arsenal. You'd have a statue of Pogba outside if he put an Arsenal shirt on.
Yeah, it'd be a statue of him dancing.
Be better than your midfield.
What did you make of that debate the other day? I mean, me and Flex was having it the other night for quite a while. What Danny Mills said about Pogba and dyeing his hair and stuff like that. What did you make of that?
You know what? I think it's really interesting, because I think that if you speak to Rance, he'll say that there might even be a cultural issue behind it, which I think is interesting. I just look at it and think that, look, Pogba is a fantastic player. He's been inconsistent at United, but we're probably stronger if he stays. The problem with Pogba is Mino Raiola. And if he just got his head down, and I'm sure Arsenal have got players like this as well, if he gets his head down, plays for the shirt, you've got a great player there. But when you've got someone like Danny Mills talking about hair and all that, that to me is where I start to switch off and disrespect the opinion. And I respect all opinions. But when you're talking about someone down, I mean, you joked about it there, and I know you're joking, and I'll joke about Arsenal players. You know, I think Bellerin looks like a model, and Aubameyang, looks like a prat sometimes. But realistically, we're just bantering there. But when a journalist or an ex-player is saying it's hair and this, I just think that that does portray a little bit of bitterness. And I think when bitterness comes out, you lose the argument, don't you?
Dano said he's here for the full 24 hours, boy. Imaki Poo and Robbie Boo, and he's going to be here for the full 24 hours. So respect for that. Anybody who anybody who can make it through the whole 24 hours, you know what I mean? We're going to really, really appreciate that. Comments are flying in. Here's one of your boys, 99 all day. I'm sorry, man. What's this guy talking about, man?
Respect. We're doing it away from home again. We're on AFTV and we're winning. It's like it's like the Emirates.
No, I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm putting one up. I'm putting one up for you because I'm trying to be nice to you, right? You know, I'll put another one up for you. Look, here's another one.
I can see loads of 99s. It's like Mr. Whippy here. It's like having an ice cream. All I can see is 99.
They're trying to infiltrate us, mate. It ain't working, right? Here's a guy here. He's asking, any tips of how to stay up and watch for the full 24 hours? Mark?
We got it covered, haven't we, Rob? But there's so much it's not going to be like us like this. We've got Flex and Rants, we've got DT, we've got Troops, we've got Claude, we've got Ricky, we've got loads of guests coming on. We've got loads of different ideas
throughout the day. We've got loads of guests on there. We've got as you said, we've got DT. I think he should be coming up next. Guillaume Balaguer is coming on. I'm gonna get some transfer talk off of him. Guillaume Balaguer actually was actually the first person to say that Aubameyang was coming to Arsenal. And I remember at the time, a lot of people were dissing him and saying, "Oh, you're chatting shit," right? And he weren't. He was spot on. And so I'm going to ask him about Aubameyang. Does he think Aubameyang will stay at Arsenal? So it's going to be really interesting to hear what he's got to say.
You can ask him from a United perspective as well, because he was saying this week that, United can forget Pochettino, which will upset some United fans and please some. So it'd be interesting to see what he's got to say about that, because he said it this week.
Zane here, talking to Spurs, Zane says, with a £99 super chat, respect for that. He says,
get on the Just Giving page, Zane, as well.
Get on the Just Giving page as well, mate. Yes. He says, Spurs are crap. Their stadium should be turned into a zoo. It could be the new London Zoo. Long live the NHS. Mark, you ready for a Aubameyang hat-trick next season?
What, in a United shirt? He's welcome. He's welcome.
In a United shirt. Big up the NHS. Which player would you like to swap between Arsenal and United? Ooh. If you could do a swap deal, that's an interesting one. That ain't really come up before. If you could do a swap deal, what would it be?
Well, I'm obviously going to give you someone crap, but I would. I'm trying to think. I'd probably take one of you. I like Aubameyang, but to be honest, I probably would go for a Xhaka or a Martinelli. I'd look longer term, because they're definitely going to be first team players for 10 years. So I'd go with one of those two.
Yeah, I think I'd go in for that Bruno. But mate, do you know what? And I think that Wan-Bissaka would be good for us as well. I mean, sort out that right-hand side. I think that would be a good sign-in for us.
See, Robbie's got a list of United players. I'm scratching this. I'm having to go for youngsters that might be good.
I gave you two. I didn't have a list. I just scratched the service and gave you two. Here's Tom Hazelwood. He says, Invincibles is the best Premier League achievement, but it helped that you didn't go far in competitions. The United 99 went on to win all as well as a league. No debate for me. Getting the real world, Robbie. I'm sorry. We're not on about best team.
I think you started that off thinking that was going to be for you.
I know I did. I'm talking about the best ever Premier League team. I don't care if you won 2 other trophies. Premier League team, it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. They went a season unbeaten. Look how hard Liverpool were trying to do it this season. Look how hard City were trying last season with all their money. None of them could do it. Christian here says, guys, can I get a shout out for my better half, Lisa Cooper, on the front line in critical care. Enough respect due. And remember, you can see the QR codes there on the side. That will take you to the Just Giving page. Please, please, please donate. We really appreciate it. All of this is going to the NHS. And there you go. Invincibles. It's obvious, man. Come on, you know. I was trying to be nice to you before, but I'm starting to put up our stuff now.
It's mainly, I'm looking at the live comments, it's mainly 99, but you know, seriously though, I mean, do you think that there, and anybody in the live comments, let's be fair, because it can't just be all Arsenal United, it's football fans for the NHS, is there any other team that gets, if the argument is United or Invincibles Arsenal or United 99, is there any team away from United or Arsenal that gets into that? I mean, what do you think, Robbie? They talk about that 100-point City. I
said this to Flex, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's first of all, it's Arsenal, best ever Premier League team. Second is City, because they got 100 points. You lot are third.
Deluded. Absolutely deluded. To me, it's United.
Points. That's the second best achievement. Remember, we're talking of the Premier League, not the Champions League, not the FA Cup. Best team in the FA Cup's Arsenal as well, because we've won it the most times.
I'm not bothered about the FA Cup; it's crap.
Yeah, but that was part of your treble.
Yeah, but no one else has done it. That's the least part of the treble.
Oh, yeah. He's backing out of it now. The combined team of the Invincibles and the 99 team, that'd be a good team. That might be something for us to do later on.
Yeah, that's a very good one, because I don't think you get any in.
Oh, listen to this guy, man. What, Thierry Henry wouldn't be in there, yeah? Robert Perez wouldn't be in there. Yeah? Lundberg.
Do you drop York or Cole?
Would Sol Campbell not be in there?
Yeah, I'd put him in for Ronnie Johnson, yeah.
York and Cole work better than Henry and Bergkamp.
I don't know. Did they ever win a treble?
Stretford Post says, first of all, as a key worker for the NHS, it's commendable what you guys are doing. Before the money came into the game, the true rivalry was United and Arsenal, but was always a respectful rivalry. We were talking about that the other day, didn't Mark? We were saying that, you know, that was the game, although it's, you know, it has been kind of overtaken now, you know what I mean, by obviously, what would you say? Liverpool City's the game now, isn't it? Although it's nowhere near the same level to me. But
I think the Premier League struggles, to be honest. I think this is why United and Arsenal are still massive news, and that's why you get a lot of people watching AFTV for your fan cams. It's why people watch a lot of me ranting and stuff. It's because United and Arsenal are still. Why are we? You know, we're not fighting for titles, but why are we the clubs that? Because we're interesting clubs, and I don't think Liverpool, Man City is. They should be. You look at how close it was last year. Imagine if United and Arsenal did that, but no one buys into it. Liverpool. I've spoke to Liverpool fans who've said, "I wish Arsenal or I wish United were City, because we'd get a lot more credit for what we've done in the last couple of years." And I said, the problem is, you're right, it's City. No one's interested in City. Pep knows it. He's like a bloody cheerleader at the Etihad, you know. Champions League games, they can't sell it out. And it's because City, great team, but they've got it's a shallow club. They've got no depth.
Kyle says, well done AFTV and United Stand for this event. I'm happy to help for the NHS. Remember, as we're going to say, and we're going to keep saying it right throughout this 24-hour stream, get over onto the Just Giving page. We want to raise as much money as we possibly can. I don't think we're going to be able to compete with is he the captain who's been doing that?
20 million.
You know what? That guy, what a guy, man. What a 99 he is. 99
from the front,
you know, trying to get my kids to go down to the shops, and this guy's walking like that at 99. It's absolutely unbelievable what he's done, and also I think, you know, credit the generosity of people. You know, I think, you know, one of the things about this whole coronavirus thing is that you get to see that people, you know, there's a lot of people talk about hate and on social media and this and that, but you get to see the good side of people. You know, people, you know, 99% of people are really, you know, trying to help, trying to give, you know what I mean? I think it's been absolutely fantastic. And you guys are showing your support today already. I can see that. It's been brilliant.
We've got like nearly 4,000 people watching, which is massive. And just keep sharing the video, keep sharing, keep watching. Watch as much as you can, because you'll miss something. There's going to be so much going on. Mark,
I got somebody here who would like to have a word with you. It's DT.
He's in. Look, he's already had a word with me. He's not happy with the picture we've got on the thumbnail, but I think he looks quite cute on our thumbnail at 3 o'clock.
Cute.
Yeah. Angry DT.
DT, good morning, mate. How you doing?
Good morning. It's afternoon, mate.
Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, man. But I'm good to have you here. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, man. I'm doing well. How is everyone else doing, man?
Good. Well, listen, lots of people are watching the stream. Lots of people are donating already, which has been fantastic. So you've got Lincoln here says, this is a Dub meme of huge potential. Dub's so big, I bought
a sandwich.
Big up AFTV and United Stand. Thanks for bringing me to Football Fan Media. Question, most overused words on football Twitter. DT, you live on there. Most overused words.
You're in my back pocket.
I think goat gets used a lot as well, and there's only one goat, isn't there? Well, there's probably two, but
Most definitely.
DT, you know what? Mark was saying that you're going to be jumping on his channel later on as well.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Arsenal and Man United joined together for 24 hours only. We can go back to not liking each other and abusing each other tomorrow. But for now, we have one common goal, which is to raise money for the NHS and, try and bring the whole football community, and not just the football community, but the community in general together. Maybe we can get some people involved today that might not necessarily be football orientated. They might not really know much about AFTV or United Stand, and we can show them a different side to the rants, the moaning and the shouting into microphones after we've just lost the game and stuff like that. And, it's a really good thing. So
yeah, big shout out to Stephen Featley. He says shout out to all the staff in the NHS. Never giving up on me when I was diagnosed with liver cancer, to having 6 transplants and a splectectomy, which I hard to pronounce, to be alive today, saying thank you and respect to you for doing this, and up the Arsenal Invincibles. And that's the thing. It's not just, let's not forget, right, with this whole coronavirus thing, it's not just the coronavirus that these people are treating at the moment. They're treating absolutely everything that they normally would have to deal with, plus all the coronavirus stuff on top of it. And Andrew says, if DT and Mark played for the other team, who would give and who would receive? Ooh.
Yeah. Robbie, you've been done again. He reads the first sentence and he thinks it's going to be a nice thing. He doesn't read. You always read this last bit.
Why do you answer that? You could answer. You two could answer. Mind you, you two are here. You could answer that.
Robbie, listen to me. Yeah.
Who'd give and who'd receive?
Oh my God! It's only midday.
Robbie, why do you not subconsciously read the questions out in your head before you actually read them?
Listen, did you see the one I got caught out with the other day? Right, it was actually
there's a whole bloody series in there.
Mark, you know how difficult this thing is, right? And you know what? There's one that I got done with the other day. It was actually an Indian Punjabi.
Yeah, I see it. As soon as it happened. Remember, I'm from Luton, so I know what that word means. So as soon as I heard it, I just went, "Oh no, he's done it again, man!"
that one went viral in India. You know what I mean? So now I'm a meme to about 1 billion people in India now as well. You know what I mean? Andrew says, I'm a United supporter and have huge respect for Arsenal. Mark, you say about City not having no fan base. If our clubs continue to have no success, the likes of City continue to do well, their fan base will grow. That is a no, Mark. That is a good point.
I told you before, who's going to wear a sky blue kit? It's a shit colour. Like they need a new kit for a start. That kit is horrible. It is. Like no one's going to buy that.
Saying that, the border of this stream is Man City-esque.
Yeah, that's because of the NHS colours.
Exactly. It's a good colour. It's a good colour.
For today, it's the best colour. Yeah.
Love that.
So DT, Arsenal at the moment. With all the news that's been actually, Mark, we're going to get rid of you now, Mark. We're going to talk.
Yeah, because otherwise
we're getting rid of you now. Right, we'll see you back. We'll see you back later on. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got DT at 3 on the United Stand, and I think you're going to pop in for a minute or two, aren't you, Robbie, as well? So
Definitely,
good luck with it. Keep donating.
Right.
I'll speak to you all in a bit.
Right, Mark. Remember, takes over at 3 o'clock. DT, Arsenal so far. What have you made of what's been going on?
You know what? It was kind of, I saw obviously the other day there's this talk about the pay cut and everything else. And there was a lot of people saying a lot of things before any facts were actually known. It's not as simple as just taking a pay cut, you know, and just going, yeah, it's fine. Just cut my wages. It's all right. There's a lot involved. And what I like about it is that we're actually the first team to do an actual wage cut, which is for the course of a year. You know, a lot of clubs are doing deferrals, which are for about a 2-3 month period. We're the actual, you know, first club that's actually done a wage cut. The big surprising news for me was the board members that took a cut for a 12-month period. So I think maybe that was kind of the nudge that some of the players might have needed to look at and say, you know what, they're doing it. Yeah, okay, maybe this is what we need to do as well. I heard that Arteta and Bellerin were very influential in the negotiations and the back and forth and everything. And ultimately, it looks like that we've come to a decision. And ultimately, it's going to help us as a club in terms of our wage bill, because we've got a Champions League wage bill on Europa League money. So hopefully this is the first process to being able to rebuild. And then the last piece of news that came out was that Stan Kroenke's going to dip his hand into his own pocket.
Now, is he dipping his hand in his own, you know, because we're chatting to Kenny Ken on last night, and Kenny Ken saying, listen, don't get it twisted. That money's more just to help out the backroom staff and that. That's not going to be for transfers. But I don't know what you think about it.
Listen, Stan Kroenke's never dipped his hand in his pocket in over a decade at Arsenal. Period. Full stop. So any kind of, you know, help that he's willing to give is something that's more than nothing. And, you know, we had this conversation weeks ago on one of our podcasts, and I think it might have even been before we went into lockdown. And I said to you, this is the perfect opportunity for Stan Kroenke right now to get the fans on board, to get them on his side and say, you know what, fair play. Let's get behind this man because he's helped us when we really need it. Now, if it transpires that the helping hand that he's going to give us will be in the transfer market and maybe boost up the money a little bit so that we can get certain players in through the door, then boy, he will go up in a lot of fans' estimations.
Let me ask you this question here. This guy here, Tantan, saying, thoughts on the potential Newcastle takeover. Now, Newcastle set to be taken over by, you know, with Arab money, you know, Saudi Arabian money, right? They're going to be a serious proposition. I mean, that's going to be another big threat to Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I was speaking about it in my daily show this week, and I said that the thought of, you know, another side coming into the Premier League that's going to buy their way to where they want to be, because ultimately that's what they're going to do. He will be the richest owner in the Premier League. He's got more money than Man City. Now, I don't know if they'll be allowed to go as big in terms of the money spent as Man City because of the financial fair play. And we obviously saw how that come back to bite Man City in the backside. But for Newcastle, it's exciting times if they can finally get rid of, you know, jumbo mugs for, you know, this guy that's going to come in and, you know, and ridiculous amounts of money. And, you know, they're already talking that they're looking at the likes of Allegri or Pochettino as manager, and they want to sign Mbappe and all this kind of madness. And it's not just a threat to Arsenal, but it's a threat to Chelsea. It's a threat to Manchester United, a threat to, no, not Spurs, they're just not a threat to anyone. But, you know, all the sides that take being in that top six, shall we say, for granted, Newcastle could be about to shake things up, you know, big time. And
big time, man, big time. Big time. And, you know, as you said, they'll be spending serious money, right? and they will be a serious proposition. CFC Young says, "Hey guys, do you think we'll ever see a North London derby Champions League final? If so, when and what will the score be?" Well, if we did see that, which we won't, I doubt, right, we'd win, right? But mind you, listen, nobody would have thought that Spurs would have got to the final how they did last year. I mean, you know, you wouldn't have thought that, would you?
No. Well, let's just get back in the Champions League full stop. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to hear the anthem. I want to hear. Do you know how bad I feel right now, Robbie? Yeah, because obviously with isolation and everything, and we're locked at home. There's a lot going on in terms of playing on your computers and stuff like that. Now, my 4-year-old, nearly five in July, he's got into playing FIFA, and he was sitting there the other day, and he's like, "Dad," he's like, "What's that song? What's that song?" And I'm like, "What are you on about?" And he's like, "You know, when we come out to the games and stuff and the song and everything." And I'm sitting there racking my brains for ages. Like, what is it, like good old Arsenal? What? But I'm like, but that don't happen at the Emirates no more. What is it? What are you on about? And he's like, when we played Olympiacos. And I sat there and went, the Europa League song. And I went onto YouTube, right? And I found like the soundtrack for the Europa League. Right, I played it, and he went, "Yeah, that's it, Dad, that's it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, my son wrote Europa League
worst anthem. That's the worst anthem." But you know what? But you know what? I'd take that right now. I would take that right now. You know what I mean? Let me do this comment here. This guy says, "I'm from CA and a Milan fan, California and a Milan fan. But follow all your guys' channels and love the content. What you guys are doing for the NHS is great. Also love to DT and troops. Go in, Boris. Trump is killing us out here." Well, he wouldn't know that DT stands for, that's the same thing, isn't it? Donald Trump, DT.
You are such a fool.
On what me and Mark was discussing earlier, right? Arsenal Invincibles or the Man United treble winning team?
Oh, do you know what? You're never ever gonna get everyone agreeing on this. I still think that Manchester United's treble winning side and Arsenal's Invincibles are the two best sides to ever be in the Premier League. Full stop. Better than Man City Centurions, Chelsea's. They're the two best sides. The one thing I will say about Manchester United's treble is that if Dennis Bergkamp put that 90th minute penalty away, there was never a treble. You know, Villa Park semi-final of the FA Cup, the Iceman, Dennis Bergkamp, you wouldn't want any other person to take the penalty and he misses it. So sometimes it's written, it's fate, you know, and that's the way it is. And it's, you know, even when you get to the very final game of our invincible season, we go 1-0 down to already relegated Leicester. Former Arsenal player Paul Dickoff scores a header. He's about 4 foot. But it was just written that it was not going to, you know, stand in our way. And then even when you flip it round to the following season, who's in our way to stop us winning the 50th game in a row? Manchester United. Although they did have massive helping hand.
Yeah, I watched that game back the other day, man. And trust me, we got so robbed in that game. It was unbelievable, man. By the way, we've raised over £700 already. On the Just Giving page. So that's absolutely brilliant. Make sure you get over there. The QR codes are there. Just scan those codes and it will take you straight to the page. All you go over there is football fans for the NHS. Remember, this isn't just an Arsenal or a Man United thing. This is a football fans thing. We want to hear from football fans of all clubs right now. You know, so that'd be brilliant. Martin here says City Centurions won both domestic cups as well as the Premier League title with the most points ever. That's true. They did do that. They didn't win I think if they'd have won the Champions League as well, I mean, that would have topped the whole lot. But
they're going through a period where, you know, apart from Liverpool, there wasn't really any challenges to do what they were doing. It's not taking away their achievement. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing achievement, but it's not up there with. It's not better than the Invincibles, and it's not better than winning an actual treble with the Champions League included.
There's a question here. So Toby Aldridge says, I'm a West Ham fan, and I think Declan Rice is very underrated by fans outside of West Ham. What are your thoughts on Declan Rice? Would you take him at Arsenal?
This is the thing. I don't think he's underrated. I just think that nobody believes that he's worth what West Ham are quoting him to be worth. You know, in terms of
I do rate him, to be honest.
I do rate him as well. But is he worth 80, 90 million pound that West Ham want? No. That doesn't mean I underrate him. It just means that I don't think he's worth 80, 90 million pound. Maybe with the current situation that we're in, and I think transfers might level out and prices might drop a bit, that you may be able to pick up a Declan Rice for the kind of money that he should be, you know, in between that 30 and 40 million pound bracket. He's not an 80, 90, 100 million pound bracket. Sorry, he's not.
Well, listen, we got another guest coming in now. We have got Harry Shotta. How you doing, Harry?
What's going on, lads? You good, yeah?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You good? We got DT here, Harry Shotta, excellent MC, also a big Arsenal fan. And how you been getting on with all this isolation stuff?
Boy, it's a whole different lifestyle, man. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm used to the weekends, obviously playing out every weekend, the festivals, traveling all over the world, MCing. So it's a whole different ball game, man. But I just got myself into a little routine, growing this big quarantine beard, trying to get as good as DT's, man. He's inspiring me out here with that. You know what I mean? Look at it. Beautiful, mate. But yeah, writing a lot of bars, working on an album. So I've already written like 9 tunes. So I'm just trying to use the time wisely, man. You get that family time you don't normally get because you're working. And also I've been running and trying to keep fit, man. I've just been on it, bro. Missing the football as well, though, man. Jeez. Yeah,
it must be very tough for you guys because like you said, you know what I mean? You're out, you're doing a lot of different shows around the place. And now that's all gone for the time being. Anyway.
And the thing is, for us as well, we'll probably be the last people to be able to go back to work. Because obviously we play at big events, you know what I'm saying? When things are eased off, I don't think we'll be going back anytime soon, which is a bit of a downer, man. But, you know, you just got to use the time to your own advantage and get creative and just kind of, you know, we're never going to have this situation again, man. So you just got to kind of be positive, use it to your advantage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I saw the other day, right, that you the Eminem tune. So the Eminem tune where at the end where he does that real fast talking, right?
Yeah.
Now I saw he put a challenge out, didn't he? And I saw that you jumped on the challenge, man, and you were brilliant.
Oh, respect, man. You know what that was, yeah? I wasn't even going to do that challenge, but so many people was hitting me up, man, from like DJs and even people in my DMs, man. I was like, you've got to do it, because obviously I beat his record before in the Guinness Book of Records for most words in a tune. I beat the record thing before. So where the fans were onto me so much, the supporters were onto me, I was like, oh, I've got to do it. I'll just do it for fun. And it ended up going mad. People like LL Cool J was liking it. Big American rappers like Eric Sermon was like DMing me about it and stuff. So it went off, man. It was crazy. It's one of them things you just do it. And I just did that literally like now on my phone. And it just went crazy, man. Went absolutely viral. It's the biggest thing I've ever put on Twitter, man.
You know, I'm going to ask you now, innit?
What's that?
I'm going to ask you to do a few bars of that here. Because honestly, it was amazing.
I'll speak. Let me think how it goes, man. Okay, let me kill him with the venomous show. Bare relevance up in the elements. Intelligent king, also benevolent. Pouring the measurements, kill him with the eloquent flow. I get him go, I'm never gonna backtrack. I was on a raucous vibe with a backpack. Weekend, I was in Rex. Mad flex, X on set. Go on, kill him with the black. Back to the biz. What it is, don't do this in a marquee like this. A whiz with the words, absurd with the flow. Screw like fizz, pop quiz. Could you do it like mine or his? Certain managers here for the list, and that's cool. But I'm here for the artful bitch. Don't switch to get rich, not part of the pitch. I dark up the mix. Clout up your bits and clout up your bits. The clips are reloaded with malice and I push like T. Coded, came in the DMB and then they exploded. The damage the flow did flow like Joe did when he linked on the flows that I molded. Another level flows got scolded, eroded, murdered the melody, killed every beat like came in the game like coded, hold it. Nah, it's too much, man. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Harry Shotta.
We're in the building, mate.
Absolutely mental, man.
Come on, DT. You said you was an MC. Come on, in, give me some bars.
Hey, listen, you try sitting there saying
come on.
I did it.
I remember when we had that awards thing that time, you jumped up on stage.
I jumped on it, but the problem is that I've been in isolation so much, right? My head doesn't even think straight, right? So I tell you what, Robbie trying to throw this on me, yeah. I think that for the NHS, yeah, because we're doing something like this for the NHS, right? I think that we should get everyone involved in the comment section, right? That if in, I don't know, what's the time now? 12:30, right?
Yeah.
If in the next hour we raise a further £500 in the next hour, Robbie will do another rendition of "Don't Sniff the Coke."
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. From when you started that, I just knew that was coming, man.
You think you're gonna
that was coming? Yeah.
Crucial Robbie.
You think you're gonna throw this on me? No chance.
I've got
I am going.
That's why I'm drinking this water, man. The throat, you know what I mean?
Listen, it's cool. I'm going on
When was the last
Instagram.
time you did a live PA, Robbie?
Sorry?
When was the last time you did a live PA at that show?
Oh God, that was years and years. Gosh, years and years. And funny enough, right, for something that you used to do like week in, week out,
Yeah.
to not doing it at all. You know what I mean? You do lose it. You do lose it. You know what I mean? So
Just give me a second because I'm just tweeting out the GoFundMe page and I'm letting everyone know that Robbie is going to do a live rendition of "Don't Sniff the Coke." That if
you're a troublemaker, you know that. I can't remember the words properly.
Hey, it's very simple. 1 sniff, 2 sniff, 4 sniff.
Classic
Sorry,
material, man.
You think you're gonna stitch me up by getting?
No, but where's your? You said right. I remember you came on and you did that little freestyle. Yeah. Right, that time at the awards thing. Come on, Harry Shotta's there. Harry Shotta can tell you, he can judge and tell you if you've got any skills. Come on, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
Hold on. At that show, I did back-to-back with Harry.
Yeah.
Exactly. So come on, Harry's here. Let's hear you.
Don't try changing it, man. Move yourself, man.
Let's hear you. I said it first. Let's hear you.
I don't care. I'm writing a tweet out. Talk with Harry because I'm just writing out a tweet just to get everybody involved because we've got to raise money for the NHS. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
But anyway, Harry, going back to the football, mate. What have you made of Arsenal?
What, this season?
Yeah.
So far, oh man, it's been a crazy one, isn't it, man? I mean, boy, the Emery days were a terrible stage, man. Do you know what I'm saying? That was right from the Europa sort of final after that, 6 months after that, man. Watching the games was like painful, man. And I'm this Arsenal fan. I'm quite a positive fan as well, but even for me, it was just like, wow, we're not going anywhere. And then obviously Arteta came in and you could see that difference straight away, man. You could see it in the players. You could see it in the style of play. You could see what he was trying to do. Everything was just improved like tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we still got a lot of issues. Still got a lot of issues defensively and stuff like that. But you could just see a difference. Even players like Xhaka, the improvement was incredible. Do you know what I'm saying? Even the way Aubameyang's my favourite player, but even the way he was tracking back and the energy and you know, Lacazette hasn't had the greatest season, but you know, he's stuck with him and he's scored goals and I think he was kind of on the up again before all this happened. So you've seen so much improvement, even in people like David Luiz. Wow, what a turnaround! Do you know what I'm saying?
Are you worried about the Aubameyang situation? Because obviously Aubameyang getting linked with loads of different clubs at the moment. It's Barcelona's and Real Madrid's and people like that. Are you worried that we could lose Aubameyang?
I don't want to lose Aubameyang, man. I really don't, man. Because how do you replace that player, that class, man? Do you know the amount of holes he's got us out of? That guy, man, is just like in a different league. He is world class. People seem to like kind of not want to give him his props and his respect, but even some of the pundits always front on Arsenal for whatever reason have had to give him his respect. The guy is world class. It does worry me. I think he does want to play Champions League football. But yet again, I was watching your podcast the other day. And there was that rumor saying that if we get Champions League football, that's when he'll stay and everything else. But he came out and said, no, that's not true and all that. So we don't know. He's dispelled the rumors so many times. He seems happy here, but it's whether he believes in kind of the mission that Arteta's on and whether he's here for the long haul, man. I think if he finishes at Arsenal, if he signs the contract and he carries on, he'll be an Arsenal legend, 100%, man.
With the season, do you think it should get finished behind closed doors? Because that seems to be how it's looking, how it's going to end now, that it will probably end up finishing behind closed doors.
I'm in two minds, man. Part of me thinks I'd love to have some games on because I'm missing football massively. Obviously, it's not the same as the atmosphere of it being at the grounds and everything else and the fans, but part of me wants some football, and so part of me wants it to finish. Then another part of me thinks, nah, man, let's avoid it, man. Let's take that away from Liverpool, man.
And you're going to be very popular with Liverpool fans.
I've got so many mates who are Liverpool fans, and they were so gassed. I mean, big up Skibbity, man. You might know MC Skibbity.
Yeah, Skibbity, yeah.
Yeah, and he even put down money they wouldn't lose all season. Obviously, they lost the Watford game, so that was kind of out the window. But he was just been gassing all season. And as an Arsenal fan, it's been tough, man. It's been tough dealing with these Liverpool guys. So just for the banner, I mean, a part of me does feel sorry for them because they do deserve to win the league. But as many people have said, mathematically, it's still possible for them to lose. So can you just give them the league? You know? Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, and we could have some Liverpool fans on later on as well, but I'll get their opinion on it. If I was a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't want it handed to me because there's always going to be that little asterisk against it that says that
years. Yeah. They'll say, "Oh, you was just given it. You never properly won it." There'll be best.
Oh, we seem to. Oh, you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry, your stream went slightly, but you were saying that you don't want to be handed it that way, do you?
No, definitely not, man. Because like you said, like for years to come, there's going to be like bare banter about that. People are never going to say they actually won it outright, even though they look like they were the clear winners this season. I don't think no one was really troubling them, but they weren't playing as well in their last few games, if you ask me. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a few wobbles there, so. Yeah, I just can't see how you can give them the league like that, and I don't think I would want it. I mean, I don't know if it was us. I'm not sure how I'd feel about it, but I don't know if I'd want to be handed it, man. I'd want to get that fair and square.
Yeah. Well, listen, Harry, thank you very much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Thanks for spitting a couple of bars as well. Yeah. And I hope you can get back to doing your thing because, I wasn't even thinking about it that way. It's going to be hitting you guys harder because especially those big festivals and those things. I mean,
of course.
But then maybe that's going to be the sort of thing, the sort of tonic people are going to need after this to get us back.
Exactly that, man. I think once this is over, once we're at the other side, the parties are going to be absolutely crazy, man. I was talking to my agent and he said the work is going to be absolutely insane. Everyone's going to want that release. Everyone's going to want to go out and party and have some fun, man. So looking forward to that day, man. It's not too far off, hopefully, man. All
right. Thanks very much. That's Harry Shotta there. Thanks very much to Harry Shotta. I really appreciate him for coming on and also for spitting those bars. DT, you still there? What are you eating now?
Well, I just had to go and get some refreshment.
Listen to this. You're on a live stream, bro. Listen to this guy.
You dropped me out of the room, yeah? So like,
man, get open. What's that?
Fruit salad softies. I got myself some crisps as well. Got some iron brew. I'm in. And
see, listen, man, healthy water, some water. Hand sanitizer. What do you need hand sanitizer in your own house?
Of course, you still need it, man. You got to wash your hands and look after yourself. You never know.
Yeah, you wash your hands. Do you need the hand sanitizer in your own house?
You know what it is, Robbie? I've become so used to using hand sanitizer that literally I just walk around everywhere. Do you know what? I was nearly about to say something, but that would have come back as a meme. I've got to be so careful what I say on these live streams, man.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on. I know that you're coming back a couple of times later. You're back with me as well in the night shift, aren't you?
Yeah, I think 1 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, you're gonna be makes the dumble before the sleep, you know.
Come on, man. I'm a night person. I'm a DJ by trade, so
and you don't still bottling it.
Listen, Robbie, check what the do me a favor. Check what the live actual total is at the moment.
All right, live total on the donation page. Let me just refresh it. Hold on 1 sec. £898. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Because I just put a tweet out 5 minutes ago,
right?
And it was on £725.
No, it weren't. Shut up, man. You
literally
take it. No, take it. You know what? Wait. So it's on 898, yeah. Right, and you said £500 more, yeah, right. So when we get 500 more on top of that, you come back, and I'll do it.
Yes, I put this tweet out. Look, we've raised over £700 already on the live 24-hour stream with AFTV Media and United Stand. I said, let's get over £1,000 by 1:30. Robbie will do a live remake of his One Sniff song. Get involved here and put the link up. And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go.
More than £700 was already on there, so stop trying to. We're taking it from the 898. When there's another 500 on top of that, then
we're not. No, we're not. No,
you come back.
No,
you come back. You come back.
I'm going off now to cause mischief on social media and to make sure everybody donates. All right. And you know the best thing? I'm contacting Flex and everybody, and I'm gonna be like, right, donate right now. Let's get that total and let's get Robbie having a nice little sing song because the public want it.
You man, you troublemaker. Well, you come back on once you've got that. Come back. Oh, hold on. £500 more and DT shaves his beard off. This guy's saying.
No, you must be mad. You think I'm going to shave this off?
All right, £1,000 more. The beard goes.
I can't shave it.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't shave it? Why?
I can't shave it.
This is for the NHS.
Listen, I can't shave my beard.
This is for the NHS. You put the challenge to me. You heard what the guy said. 500 more and DT shaves his beard.
I can't shave it. I'm not allowed.
£1,000 more.
It's against my religion.
See, but this is what I'm saying about you. He puts the challenge to me, and I'm saying, all right, I'll do it. But this guy here now, he's bottling it.
Robbie, there's a difference.
The guy has put it. Here's another guy. Shave the beard. I want you guys to. If you wanted to shave that beard, get on there now. Tell us. Shave the beard, says Mani.
You know what you need to do?
Omar, do it.
You know what you need to do?
Shave that beard. Shave that beard.
Yeah.
Shave that.
You're right, because you got a big bullet, yeah?
All right, here we go. Mohammed says £2,000 and DT shaves off his beard.
Wait, I'll tell you what, yeah? Get troops in the live. Listen. Get troops in the live with me. Listen to me. Get troops in the live with me. We come up with a figure. Troop shaves all his hair off. I shave all my beard off.
Why do they get troops involved for? We're talking to you now.
Well,
we'll put another one to troops later. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, go on. Go pull it to him. Go on. We'll do it
together.
No,
we'll put that to him later. We're asking you about the beard. A lot of people are jumping in the comments and they're saying they want the beard to go and they will donate.
Mate, no one will recognize me anymore.
Shave the beard. There you go. There's another one. Shave it.
You carry on with your big bar head.
DT and Poch, both of them are bottlers, this guy says.
Absolutely.
Anyway, listen, come back on when we've got that extra £500. Jump back on and we'll see what we can do with that song. Yeah? I'm not gonna bottle it like you, yeah? I'll see you in a bit. Right. Listen, keep those donations coming in. It's been absolutely fantastic what you guys have done so far. Let me just remind you guys of what we are doing today. We are here for 24 hours and we're raising money for our brilliant NHS over here in the UK. Of course, the coronavirus crisis over here at the moment has hit us really, really hard in this country. You know, over 15,000 deaths, and it's still rising, unfortunately. And the people that are on the front line dealing with that on a day-to-day basis are the NHS workers, all of them, the doctors, the nurses, everybody on a ward, the ambulance drivers, every single person connected with it. They're doing such a fantastic job. You've got nurses and doctors that go out into the community as well to treat people. And every day they are putting their life at risk, and they're putting their life at risk for us. And that's why we got to keep to all the things that they're telling us to stay at home, to wash our hands, you know what I mean, to really stop the spread of this. It's spread right throughout the whole world now. And this is a world crisis. But the NHS in this country are doing a brilliant, brilliant job. And if we are to get things like football back and stuff like that, we're going to be totally dependent upon these guys. Let me bring my next guest in. I've got Francesca there. How you doing, Francesca?
You right, Robbie?
I'm good. Francesca, she runs a brilliant initiative called Goals for Girls. Well, you know, I'm going to let you tell us about it. Tell us about it, Francesca.
So Goals for Girls is a football development program. We work with young women and girls, the ages of 11, 16. At the moment, we've got over 400 girls on our program in the UK. And we work with them to support them with football, their physical activity, keep them active, and their mental health as well for our education program.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you're doing great things with it. You just touched on two things that are really important at the moment, because, of course, in this country and in many other countries around the world, people are in lockdown. They've been told to stay at home, don't come out. And those two things you just touched on, physical activity and mental health, are really under strain right now, right? So what's your sort of tips for dealing with those sort of things right now under lockdown?
Well, the government have already said that mental health is going to be prolific as soon as we come out of here. That's not only just for young people, but that is for the world in general. There's a lot of people who deal with things in completely different ways. Our organisation is still running behind the scenes. We are still supporting our young women and girls behind the scenes, and we're doing that virtually like you are now with the world, by engaging with them, still carrying out mentoring sessions, especially with the girls who are high risk. So the girls who suffer with mental health issues, the girls who are in care, the girls who self-harm, they're the girls who we are dealing with on a daily basis, and we're still working with them with our therapeutic mentoring program. So our mentors are still doing that with them. But some of the things that I've found have been helpful just for myself is getting active. So going out and doing my 1 hour exercise. I've got a young boy, so bringing him out on his bike, or getting him to do jogs with me, or training him so he's ready to go back when the football season comes back up. So just keeping his mentality balanced as well as mine. Other things as well is writing a list the night before and just saying, I'm going to get up and do these things. I'm going to do a spring clean of the house. I'm going to do my hair today. I'm going to get dressed today. Just those little things really do help your mentality. I'm going to do 45 minutes exercise today. I'm going to bake a cake. So all these things. And I feel like this is a real good moment to pause and appreciate. We're so busy in our lives that we forget to just pause and really take care of ourselves. And I feel that I've took this moment to take care of myself. As you already know, Robbie, I'm always working. I'm always on the go like you are. So this moment, just being able to spend time with the family, the loved ones, and take care of my own mind. Because as you're aware, I suffer with mental health issues myself. So being able to take care of my own mind and my own mental state has been really just helpful for myself. And also doing things which I wouldn't normally do. I don't get time to exercise, so at the moment I'm really enjoying just finding myself again as a human being and spending that time with family.
It's true, you know, because even me, right, like exercising, I've been terrible at, and I've found now that every day I'm training, every single day. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've got up to do this stream today, and because of sort of rushing around to do it, I ain't trained yet, and I feel a bit strange now. You know what I mean? So that's one of the good things that's coming out of it, is that people are starting to train more, and like you said, you know, taking a little pause and reflecting.
Yeah, and also all the things you were procrastinating on and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You're finding that, like myself with my business, even though I'm having to do a whole new strategy for what's going on at the moment, I'm able to sit back and go, what do the girls really want from us? And how can we start the ball rolling? And also as a business owner, what do I want? Where do I see myself as a business owner? What steps do I want to be taking? So I feel like there's a lot of people whose goals were on hold. They're able to really sit down now and start thinking about their own goals and their own situations.
Now the women's game, right? I mean, everybody's been talking about the men's game. When's that going to start back and that? But this is going to hit the women's game really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I feel like with the women's game, especially because of the fact that their payments come a lot of their sponsorships and those kind of deals, and without them actually playing, I feel like it's going to have a snowballing detrimental effect on especially the women's league.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and you know, you touched on another thing there, right? And having a son myself who plays, like, I mean, normally every week, like he's training 3 times a week, has a game on the weekend. He's been doing that for years and years, right? And now there's just been this big stop. All right, he's still doing his training around the house or whatever, but it's really frustrating for people who play football on a regular basis, isn't it? Because you can't really play football, can you? Unless you've got a massive garden, and not everybody has got a massive garden.
And I was just saying this the other day. I was having a conversation the other day with one of the practitioners on the program, and I was saying to her that some young people's routine is getting up out of their house and going to kick a ball around in the park with their friends, or going to their Sunday football, and that's their routine. That is their release. That is their freedom. So, especially for those who are not privileged enough to have a back garden, and may have numerous amount of siblings, it could be very detrimental on their mental health. With how are they dealing with this situation? How are they with their routine? Have their parents explained this pandemic to them, or is everyone feeling it in the household? And I think that's where a lot of families and young people are going to struggle, and older people as well, because you got women who play Sunday league, you got women who have a kick around, do 5-a-side with their friends. So it's a snowballing effect for the whole economy.
Yeah, it is. Listen up, Francesca, I want to thank you very much for coming on today. Tell us, everybody, where they can find out more about your organisation, because you're doing massive things for women's football.
So you can follow us on Instagram, which is Goals for Girls, Twitter, Goals for Girls UK. You can even join in on our, we've got 10 a.m. workouts on a Monday and a Friday for our young women and girls, and the community, our Goals for Girls community. And it's therapeutic sessions as well. So mind, body and soul. And yeah, you can follow us on them platforms, or you can find out more about us on www.goalsforgirls.co.uk. We've been up to some amazing things over the past few months. So even though it's on a pause right now, you'll be able to catch up on it all.
Brilliant. Francesca, thank you very much.
Robbie, as usual, it's a pleasure.
Absolutely brilliant. Francesca there from Goals for Girls, a brilliant organisation doing brilliant things in the community for women's football. Now, keep donating. We've been very grateful for all the super chats that we've had so far. Remember that everything that's made off of these streams are going to be going to the NHS. And also we've got our Just Giving page. Let's see where we're up to on that. Let me just do a little refresh. Oh, it's over £1,000. It's jumped a lot already. £1,174. I can see what people are trying to do. They're trying to get me. Yes, look at him there. He's still there, laughing away. Look at him laughing away. You keep laughing away. But what about the beard? There's lots of people coming on here saying, what about the beard?
I told you, innit? I'll tell you what I'll do, yeah?
No, what about the beard?
Shush for a minute. I'll tell you what I'll do, yeah? Is that we pick a target, yeah, total. And if we reach it, I'll dye it, right? And I won't just do what Troops did, which is a tin of spray and it washes out in a day. I will proper dye it using the proper method of doing it.
Okay, so what's the target then? What's the target?
Well, let's think of a target. Obviously, it'll have to be, I don't know, what color should we do it? It's naturally going grey anyway. So it's like...
Blonde, white.
Do you know how difficult it is to actually go to blonde?
I don't know.
Because you've actually got to, like, with the chemicals and stuff like that. Like, if you try going grey, you would actually have to go blonde first before you actually then go into silver.
All right,
so
this guy's dye it pink.
I'm dye it red. Or dye pink. Do you know what? No, man, because of the NHS. I know the NHS color is blue, but I hate blue because it reminds me of just everything. But I'll dye it red.
Lime green, this guy says.
I'll dye it Arsenal red. That's
not green.
No, but I'll do a proper.
I says white for Spurs. He says,
get right out of it. That's why I die anyway, so it ain't white. So, hey, Robbie, how's that total going?
That total's, you know what? That total's going up, man. I mean, I'm starting to worry a bit now. I'm starting to worry a bit. All right.
I'll tell you what it is. Hold on a minute. I'll tell you what it is right now. 1,329.68.
No, he ain't. Hold on a minute. When I checked, it couldn't have jumped up that quick already.
Robbie,
let me see. Let me see. One. Oh yeah, he's right. That has jumped quick. Wow. Actually, I'm going to be in a bit. I'm going to go through that list and start bigging up some of those people that have been donating there, because it's been absolutely brilliant what they've been doing there, getting on and donating. So I'm going to go through that in a while and big up some of those people. Mohammed, a Liverpool fan from Sydney, he says, who do you think Liverpool should sell from the front three to possibly get Mbappe or Werner? Can't wait to see a live match. Do you know what? If I was Liverpool, all right, Mbappe, yes, I'd be, everybody, Mbappe would improve your team. I suppose, who would you say, Werner is not better than any of their front three. Timo Werner, again, another one of these players that everyone's talking about. Timo Werner, he's a good player, but he's not better than Salah. He's not better than Mane, and he's not better than Firmino for me. So why would you want to sell one of those players to get him? I wouldn't. Mbappe is a different proposition now. I suppose Mbappe, Mane, and Salah would be frightening. That really would be frightening, So, but
not talk about things like that.
I don't know. Firmino's a very good player. Neon here with a massive super chat. Big up for that. He says, big up Robbie and DT and all the AFTV family. Much love to the NHS. Best city you've ever visited and why? Ooh. Visited a lot of cities. DT?
London town, man. London.
London, yeah, London.
It's our city, man.
That keeps us out of trouble. I like that. Yeah, London.
London city, man. It's like, you know what I mean?
London keeps us out of trouble. There's been some great cities. There's been some great cities, though, man. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what, I like a bit of Vegas, man. Even though you can't stay there for too long, because you'll be broke and you'll be in all kinds of trouble. But Vegas, Singapore was nice.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm gutted about this year is that we won't have a pre-season.
Yeah.
So we won't be going off around the world to wherever it would be.
I'll tell you another nice city, Shanghai. Sydney.
Mm.
There's some great cities around. You know what? There's so many great cities around. I love LA, so
you're flexing, man. You're just flexing now. You're just flexing now. I mean, man's come out with Vegas. Do you know what I mean? Man's just
Amar says, big up Robbie for this stream. My bro, now come on, is this somebody else trying to those words? Every time I see these Indian words now, right? I'm thinking, are stuck in India and are massive Arsenal fans. Give them a big shout out. I just did, because I know these guys. They're trying to catch me, man. Are those swear words or are those proper names?
I'm looking for you here.
I know they're ready. See,
you see the first one. You see the first one. You see the first one that begins with C.
Yeah,
right. That is when a dick is short and fat and chubby.
See, I knew it. I knew it, man.
The other one.
I don't want to know. There's kids watching at this time. But they're trying to get me, man. Yeah. They're trying to get me. They're really trying to get me with this thing.
Both of them are in the Urban Dictionary, and you're lucky you never read them out.
Robbie going to take his private jet to Vegas. Listen, ain't nobody taking no private jet to nowhere. It's crazy, isn't it? That this, if somebody had said this to you a year ago, I mean, you'd be like, nah, no chance.
You know what we were doing nearly a year ago? Do you know what we were nearly doing nearly a year ago now?
Would it have been? You know, you know what? We'd have been the Europa League semi-final.
Valencia.
Yeah, and that was a brilliant trip.
Brilliant.
Trip. That was a brilliant. Valencia was brilliant trip. Remember, a certain person got us to make a stop off in Barcelona. You said it right. We're going to Valencia, but a certain person wanted us to make a stop off in Barcelona because certain things are in Barcelona you can get legally. And I don't think I have to say anything else to anybody else for them to find out who that person I'm talking about is.
Man,
I remember that. That was a great trip. That was.
Man had the plug.
That was a great trip. We stayed at this nice house, man. I remember that trip. The place that you stayed at. Well, that was Valencia, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we stayed at this place. It was a really nice Airbnb. Had a swimming pool and all that, and you stayed at this moody in some area with some proper moody ghetto area. Remember that?
Because listen, you know what, right? I'm not balling like that. Yeah, I stick to my roots.
No, hold on, but you know, you told us beforehand. You said that where you were staying is this place. It's plush. It's nice. When we went down there, man, I'm telling you, there was needles around the place, and I was going, "What is this place?"
The apartment inside was nice. I didn't lie about that. That was beautiful.
The apartment inside was outside,
but it was right next to the stadium.
True.
Remember that you weren't moaning when you was using my Wi-Fi to upload the videos at the end of the game, was ya? You fool.
You should have seen the place we stayed in Frankfurt. Oh my God, man! There's a guy just reminded me of that. The guy there, Jonathan, he says just like Frankfurt. When we played Eintracht Frankfurt, we stayed in this hotel, right? Oh my God, man! Like the hotel, like you said, the hotel was nice. When we came out of the hotel, a guy came up to me and said to me, "Yeah, I've got everything you want, bro." I go, "What?"
Oh yeah, do you remember that place? Yeah.
He opened his hand. He had some crack. He had coke. He had. I go, "Yo, bro, what you want? Move, man. What you want? Go away."
Do you remember? We
remember the night time?
Yeah. We walked down the road to get some food late at night.
Yeah.
And literally on your way there, it was like, "What do you want? Do you want girls? Do you want crack? Do you want coke?" And I'm like, "I want a kebab."
Mad.
I was like, "I want a kebab, man. I want some food." Do you know what I mean?
That was a crazy place, man. And like all throughout the night, innit, there was just pure activity out on the road. Women of the night. Oh man, that was crazy. That's crazy. We've had some good trips, and I'm really missing that. I'm really missing that.
Yeah, I do miss that side of things, the trips and stuff. Do you remember when Tao booked you a hotel room and it had all the mold in it? That was
in Germany as well. Yeah, that was in Germany.
After about an hour, you were like, nah. We need to find another hotel now.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yes.
I walked into the room, right, and like all the windows were open. I was like, remember I used to work as a surveyor, so I was like, why are all the windows open? What are they trying to air out? And then I could just, you opened up the cupboards and that, and it's full of mold, man. It was like,
yeah, exactly. I'd say I think one of our best trips in terms of where we stayed and everything was probably Singapore.
Yeah, because in the same hotel as the Arsenal players, remember?
Yeah, and do you remember there's a few people connected to Arsenal, some of the staff that look after the players. They nearly had like a fit when they see us walk into the hotel.
all the Arsenal players are in there. All the they've got everything set up, everything's organized right, the security, everything's smooth. And then in walks with their cases, me, you, troops. They're like, "Oh my God!"
Because the thing was, if you remember, they had like a side door at the front with barriers set up where the fans used to wait for the players to come out for training and stuff. And when they saw us in the lobby, because if you weren't staying there, you literally couldn't get in the hotel. And when they saw us standing in the lobby, they were looking at us like, hold on a minute, they shouldn't be in here. And then they were like, oh my God, they're staying here. Next morning,
yeah, I remember one of the officials goes to me, he goes, oh, so you staying here then, Robbie? And I go, well, what's up? What, can't we stay here? We can't stay here as well. He goes, no, I don't mean it like that. But
yeah, because that was the best thing. And I think it was on the second day there or something. I remember early in the morning, I went out and I thought I'll go for a little swim in that nice swimming pool outside and everything. And I went there and I got like a towel over my shoulder, pair of shorts on, sliders. I'm in holiday mode. Next thing, all you see is like Unai Emery bowling along, and it's like, and
hey, listen, I remember when we was in Baku. I'm coming down because again, that was another place where we stayed in the same hotel as the team. And I'm coming down in the lift, and the lift stops on the floor, and I'm thinking, oh, bloody, you know, because we must have been up on about the 20-something floor or something. Really nice hotel, by the way, that hotel in Baku. And then I'm coming down, and you know, like you just want it to get to the bottom, and on about the 10th floor, it went ping. I was like, oh, who's this? Bloody so. And then in walks Unai Emery. And I was like, right, Unai Emery. And I said, yeah, I'll go, good luck with tonight and that, which we didn't do too good with that, did we? We got thrashed.
No.
And then it went down about another 2 floors, and then in walked El Neni. It was crazy.
Yeah, because that one in Baku, that's where I bumped into Josh Kroenke.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said,
you were there groveling to him, weren't you?
No, ironically, I said a few things.
All that energy in it, all that energy, and all that. You lost all that, didn't it? All the energy went.
If you notice, yeah, I said a few things to Josh Kroenke, and then, like, literally a month or so after, he tells us all to be excited.
It's you, was it? Let's get into a few more comments here. Amnil says, hi, Chelsea fan here. What do you guys think about the Chelsea youngsters, and whose youngsters are better, Arsenal or Chelsea? Oh, that's a hard one. I mean, Chelsea have got some very good youngsters. We've got to admit it. I think that one of the best things that happened to Chelsea was that ban, because it forced them to give these kids a chance, and they've all stepped up to the plate. You've got to say that. I really like that Tomori. I think he's a very good player.
Yeah, I like the look of the young Scottish lad, centre midfielder.
Oh yeah. You know, he's the reason they got the ban, isn't he? That guy, really? Because I think he was actually the player that they got. What got them that ban? But he certainly is the player.
Lucky he's good then.
He is good. He's very good, that player, and reminds me a lot of like a young Jack Wilshere. And also I like Mason Mount as well. For obviously he's quality player. They've got a lot of very good youngsters, but then so have we. We've got, you know, obviously Saka, Willock, you could say
Martinelli
brought him in. Martinelli, we did kind of bring those in. I think that he's more talking about guys that come through the system, but you know, Nketiah. So we've got some good youngsters as well. But I suppose you'd have to say at the moment Chelsea are edging it. They've got they've probably got the best youngsters at the moment.
Yeah, but the thing is, when Chelsea are allowed to spend again like they are now, but once they do start spending money, most of these youngsters that they've got will go to Vitesse Arnhem anyway.
Suka says, who will win the Champions League first, Arsenal or Tottenham?
Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal. I can't see Tottenham. Tottenham had their, I mean, everything fell their way last year. You know, it all fell brilliantly for them. Do you remember actually last year? Actually, last year around about this time was, I don't know if you was with us at the time, but we was in Germany or somewhere like that, right? And we was at a game, and that was when Tottenham were playing Ajax.
No, that was Valencia.
Was that in Valencia? Remember we was in that pub?
No,
do you remember we was having a meal earlier, right? And I think it was Troops must have said there was this old boy walking across the road, Arsenal fan, and at that time they must have been about 3-something down. And Troops goes to the old boy, he goes, Tottenham are losing, they're that 3 down, they're out. And I remember, I'll never forget it. The old boy goes to him, he goes, steady on, son. Until that result is done and over, you know, I'm not saying anything yet. And Troops goes, they can't come back from that. It's Spurs. They Spursed it up. And then we went, remember, we finished eating and we went to this pub to watch the second half. And then Spurs came back, and I'll never forget, there's like loads of Arsenal fans in there. We were earlier rubbing our hands and laughing and all that, and the place was just silent. And then this guy turned around and he looked at me and he goes, "They're going to win it, Robbie. They're going to win it. What are we going to do?" He goes, "What will we do if they beat?" He goes, "That'll be it." He goes, "We'll never be able to tell him anything again because they would have won the Champions League before us. What are we going to do?" He was in a panic. And I'll tell you, Liverpool done us a favour. They really did. Robbie, would you have Torres from Valencia to improve us? I don't know enough about him yet.
Yeah. Just to let you know as well quickly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm losing you. Your line's going bad. Oh, his line's gone bad. So that means I can definitely, I ain't going to be able to do that challenge.
I'm going to say, because the stream's lagging at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
It's not mine.
No, it's you. Well, he's completely frozen up. He's completely frozen up, DT. Let me go through a few comments here. Everybody, a lot of people loving the stream. Really, really appreciate you guys getting involved. Big up to Robbie and DT. Actually, let me get over to the Just Giving page. Remember, you can see 2 codes there in the corner. Scan those and it takes you straight over to the page for you to donate. Or the page is the NHS football fans for the NHS, which you can find on a Just Giving page. There's also a link in the description as well. Let me see how we're doing. What? Ooh. I think we've hit that target for me to do the song. 1,450. I mean, I'll get DT to confirm it. But listen, let me big up some of the people that have been given. I know a lot of you have been given anonymously, and that's still brilliant. It's not, fantastic. All those people have been given anonymously. Big up Minaj, Andrew Miller, who's given. Really, really appreciate it. Matt, Jamie Morgan, Adrian Major, well done to you. Loads more anonymous is it. Tasno 2, John Lunny, Jason. Let me get a few more in. Oh, my page is Stephen Featley, Anthony, Uncle D, Mohammed Zayed Patel, Anthony. In fact, listen, it's absolutely brilliant what you guys are doing. Keep those donations coming in. We're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can, remember, for the NHS. So just keep that coming. We really, really, really appreciate that. Really enjoying the live stream. Really enjoying the live stream with you guys today. We've got guests coming on right throughout. And we're going to keep you entertained. And remember, what we're doing is 24 hours. We've started it off. We're going to be going right up until 3 o'clock. Then United Stand are going to be taking over from us. Make sure when they take over, you get onto their channel and keep supporting as well. Then we're going to take it back over again at 6 and keep swapping it like that as we go right until 12 tomorrow. Mr. A say, Robbie, if you were allowed to sign 3 Liverpool players, who would they be and why? Mine, he said, would be Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk and Mane. I think those three would be perfect right now, because it'd be all in the positions that we could really do with. So LFC Aaron says, fantastic work, Robbie. Thank you. Listen, fantastic work for you guys, man, because what's making this great is you guys. I've got Kaylee here says, what time is Expressions coming on? Let me see, actually. I've got a little schedule here. Expressions is on... Oh, I'm not sure of his time, but he's on today. I'm not sure what time. I think he's on this evening sometime. But yeah, Expressions will be on air. So be sure it'll be carnage once he gets on. And raise 10K, then Troops and DT to do a marathon. Oh, that'd be interesting, them doing a marathon. Thoughts on Guendouzi this season? Thoughts on Guendouzi this season? Let me see if I can get DT back in. Thoughts on Guendouzi this season?
Before we get into the thoughts on Guendouzi, we're going to have a little look at the totalizer. I feel like I'm on, Children in Need. And, they keep going to the big screen and the board. And it's like, today's total. And we are currently at £1,450.37. Even if we start from Robbie's total of over £800, which he thought would get him out of jail and whatnot. The time is 21. We still have 10 minutes to go, and we've already beaten the £500. So Robbie has to do a rendition of "Don't Sniff the Coke."
All right. Here it comes. I can't even read. As I said, that was from like 1990 or something. I can't even remember the lyrics.
It's your tune. You're not even going to get copywritten on this video because you own it.
All right. Not sniff the cork, don't sniff it. Shh. Not sniff the cork, don't sniff it. Shh. Don't sniff the cork, don't sniff it. Shh. Don't sniff the cork, don't sniff it. Now take one sniff, shh. Two sniff, shh. Three sniff, shh. Four sniff, shh. 5 sniff, shh. 6 sniff, you sniff the cork, and that's a joke. I can't remember the rest. What are you filming there as well?
Yes.
What are you filming there?
I ain't missing out on that golden moment, man.
I did it right now. Listen, what about you now? Right now, this beard thing.
I told you, I dyed my beard. Once the total,
Which is what?
Let's not even give a time limit on it. By the time it finishes tomorrow, backing out. I'm not backing out. I'm saying by the time the stream finishes at 12 o'clock tomorrow, which still gives another what we got, 23 hours, under 23 hours. If we raise a total of £10,000 or more, I'll dye my beard. We can easily raise £10,000.
Why you got to wait until after that? If we raise 10,000, right, you're dyeing your beard. So we don't have to wait until tomorrow. If we get there before then, you dye it.
Yeah, of course. But I'm giving it till the end of the stream.
All right, 10 grand. If we get 10 grand, he's dyeing his beard. Why is that so high? Anyway, we'd like to get to that figure anyway. 10 grand.
10 grand, because what you do is
10 grand. All right, now I'll tell you what we do, yeah. 10 grand, we dye the beard. 20 grand, you shave it off.
You can shut up about shaving it off. I ain't shaving it off, I'll dye it. Do you know what I mean? You're all right. You Mr. Barled everywhere. You got no hair on your head.
I shaved it off.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I could grow this, you know.
Why you shave it off?
So you be careful. Come out of lockdown, I've got afro.
You ain't coming out with no afro, man. Your hair like Sadio Mane. That like starts back here, man. Do you know what I mean? There's no way you're growing enough. Oi.
Big up Joy Swift says, well done, lads. Don't sniff the coke, and he's right. Do not sniff coke. That's the message in that song, by the way. I remember when some people were trying to twist it up to say I'm trying to encourage. No, it's don't sniff the coke.
Don't sniff the coke. That's a joke.
Yes. Oh, you got the lyrics. Robbie and DT, hope you're well. Big up the NHS. Here's a question. What would be your ideal starting 11, including transfers, for next season for your respective clubs? Quick starting 11, DT.
What's that
including
for?
Transfers.
Including transfers. Leno in goal. I think Bella in the step right back. Upamecano. Saliba. Tierney. Partey. Xhaka. Pepe. Coutinho. Martinelli. Aubameyang.
No Ozil. No Lacazette. Interesting. Interesting. When is Claude and Ty coming on? I know Claude is on this evening. We're still trying to hook up Ty. Yeah, he's. I spoke to him the other day, by the way. Right. He's not the greatest guy when it comes to technology. Let's just put it that way. So we're trying to.
He's got a Nokia 2210. That's why.
This guy's saying you should shave your eyebrows, DT.
Bruv, get in the bin.
20k, and DT has to take his hat off.
Mate, wait, listen, let me explain something, yeah? Where is this big myth, yeah, about my hat and everything? All you
2,500 DT has to lose the hat.
Bruv, listen, all you have to do is go to old AFTV videos and you will see plenty with me without my hat on. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard, man.
Callum says, where do you guys stand on the Coutinho signing? I think we need someone like him more than a centre-back at the moment, as we have Saliba coming in. Where do you stand on that?
The thing is, I wasn't really, thinking about the Coutinho signing as being a necessity. But the more and more I think about it, the more it makes sense because he knows the Premier League. Quality player when he was at Liverpool. Not working at Barcelona, there's no shame in that. And the fact that we could probably get him for a good price. We could even get him on a loan to begin with, given the current situation and everything that's going on. And I think Barcelona would rather say, look, send him back to the Premier League for a year. If he has a great season with Arsenal, they're going to buy him and we'll be able to bump the price up to a respectable amount. We're never going to get back what we paid, but a respectable amount. But the way it is right now, nobody's going to want to pay more than 40, 50 million pounds in the current market for Coutinho.
Blind Gooner says, brilliant stream, Robbie. Keep up the good work. If you get 15 grand, DT has to wear a Tottenham shirt for an hour.
Listen, I'd rather give 15 grand than not wear a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I remember one time we did some video where you remember that? It was a grand to wear a Tottenham shirt, and there was one particular person that was thinking about it.
Yeah, Claude was nearly thinking about it for 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Do you remember that? You sat there with me, and I remember you gave it to me in like a brown envelope, and you were like, "Have a look inside." And as soon as I looked in, I went, "I know what that is." Dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
And you were like, "I'll give you 100, 150." I was like, "Bruv, you could sit here all day, and you will never get me wearing that shirt." And then it went to Claude, and you went £100, and he was like, and you were like, "Oi, don't even think about it."
Aaron Prodigy says, thoughts on Jude Bellingham to United. He's 16-year-old at Birmingham, by the way, will cost around 35 million. I'll tell you, right, I've seen this guy play a few times. He is proper. 16. I mean, if he continues on what he's doing, he's going to be, I'd love us to go and get him. I'll be honest with you. At 16, what I see him doing already, wow.
£5 million. I know he's good. And he's been doing bits at Birmingham and that, but 35 million for a 16-year-old. I suppose
the future. What's he going to be worth in the future if he continues on what he's doing at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's one of those. It's a gamble, isn't it? If he doesn't make the grade, then it's a waste of money. But from what I've seen of him, and from people that are connected to Birmingham that I've spoke to, and they've said that he's just different level, man.
No, he's quality. He's absolute quality. Hi, Robbie and DT. Keep up the great work. In your honest opinion, does Arsenal still have that appeal to attract superstars? Be totally honest.
I do still think we have that appeal. We're Arsenal Football Club. We do still have that appeal. But we do need to have some sort of ambition. We do need the club to show the players the ambition. But, for all intents and purposes, you look at last summer, the fact that we went out and spent 70-odd million pounds on Nicolas Pepe was a sign of intent. But what we do when this is all over and what we bring in and what Stan Kroenke does for the club will also be a sign of intent, so it can go either way. But we're the third biggest team in the Premier League, no matter what anyone wants to say. It's Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, 3 biggest clubs in England. End of story. Everyone else can just
You might be saying Newcastle the way they're coming up soon, mate. They'll soon be hot on that. By the way, let me just remind everybody again, you can go to the Just Giving page. The link is in the description, or you can scan the barcodes that you can see there. We're raising money. For the NHS today. There's the links there. We're raising money for the NHS. Every penny that is raised in this 24-hour stream, which is taking place on AFTV and also on United Stand, is going to the NHS charities. We're donating all the YouTube revenue, and all of that money is going to be going to the NHS. So keep donating. We really, really, really appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to bring in DT. I'm going to drop you out for a minute. I'm going to bring in a very special guest that we've got, and that is Matty. How you doing, Matty, from the Newcastle channel, Magpie TV, and he's smiling at the moment because the big rumors are is that they're about to be taken over by these billionaires from Saudi Arabia.
Laughing, mate, laughing.
What's going to happen?
Apparently so. When I was on Sky the other day, Keith Downey, who's the reporter for Sky Sports News up here, he said it's 95% done, Robbie. He said it's literally the Premier League checks now, the due diligence, the checks on the owner, the approval, all that kind of thing, and I can't see it being a problem. Hopefully, Mike Ashley's time has finally come to an end at Newcastle.
What have people have been? I mean, Mike Ashley's done one of the few clubs to do the furlough thing, and hasn't reversed it. I mean, there were other clubs, of course. Tottenham did it, reversed it. Liverpool did it, reversed it. Bournemouth have reversed it. Mike Ashley's still continuing with it at the moment, isn't he?
Exactly. I think the world found out, or at least this country found out, why Newcastle fans hate Mike Ashley so much. It's not just on the field; it's off the field. And I think, like you say, we've seen the reverse. We've seen the common sense prevail in other clubs, in other owners. Mike Ashley, profound by greed. All he cares about is money, Robbie. So he still hasn't took a U-turn, and he won't, because he's just a stubborn, greedy, horrible man.
This guy here saying Mbappe to Newcastle, Matt.
I think, Robbie, Mbappe and 9 on the back of there.
I mean, listen, the thing is, we were debating this the other day, right? This makes Newcastle a serious proposition, because I ain't just saying it because you're in here. You've got a brilliant fan base, home and away. Everybody knows Newcastle. Even when you get relegated, you still got 50,000 people coming there. It's with this investment. Could you see Newcastle challenging for the Premier League?
I think so. I mean, we don't want to get too carried away. The thing with Newcastle is we just want to see some investment in the training ground. That's been ignored from Mike Ashley. The training ground in the academy hasn't been touched in 13 years since he took over. So that's the first place. We don't want to be fighting relegation every year. That's the next spot. Then can we look towards top 5, top 6? Can we look towards Europa League? We'd be over the moon with that at the minute, and a decent cup run. But these new owners blow Manchester City out of the water, Robbie. I don't know if you've seen the figures, but they're worth 10 times that. They're worth 10 times the shakes at Manchester City. So they're coming here not to finish top 4. They're coming here to finish first. So fingers crossed, mate.
So have you in the past made any derogatory comments about Man City and them buying the league and stuff like that?
I think we all have, haven't we? And I think
so now you'll be refusing this money, right?
Oh, I definitely. I think Newcastle may quickly become a hated club or bitter towards us and jealousy towards us if money does bring you success. But I don't think you'll get a single fan turn down what's coming Newcastle's way if it is hundreds of millions of pounds.
What must Sunderland fans be thinking right now, man? You know what I mean? They're languishing down in, was it League One?
Crying on Netflix. That's what they're doing.
Right. Netflix and stuff like that. And now your biggest rivals are getting taken over by some of the richest people in the world.
Unlucky.
I mean, I don't know what I'd do, man, if and it was being rumoured before that Tottenham, some multi-billionaire has been looking, well, they got a multi-billionaire owner already, but like some serious players were looking at taking them over, and I was fearful because you know, you take over a club like that. What does it do for you as the rival? But you know, it will change Newcastle, wouldn't it? I mean, this guy Dylan, he says 5 years and Newcastle will win the Premier League and get ready for another hell ride, people.
that's the goal of the owners. That's the goal of the owners. Like I said, they've said they're coming here, Conor McGregor style, not to take part, but to take over. So fingers crossed, mate. We can only dream for now. We don't want to get too caught up in it. But if they had to you know, do that, then every Newcastle fan, I think, like I was saying, Robbie, it's been plus 50 years since we even won a League Cup or an FA Cup, so we've waited long enough for a bit of success. Everybody's always saying, isn't it, Newcastle, sleeping giants, that gets used a lot of time. I mean, what about this one? There's a rumour here saying, Matt, is it true that Rafa will be coming back? Rafa Benitez. It is true, yeah. Like I say, if you do believe Sky Sports News North East correspondent Keith Downey, he said that Amanda Staveley, who's spearheading this takeover through the Saudis, she said that she wants Rafa Benitez back. Rafa wants to come back. Rafa wants to carry on the project that he started. He drew up plans and infrastructure for the training ground from top to bottom. He wanted to sort Newcastle United Football Club out. So hopefully now he'll be given the chance. It was funny though, because we put this out on Twitter and a lot of Newcastle fans were saying they don't want Rafa back. They want something new. They want something fresh. The one, and who was obviously linked with yourselves at Arsenal, or they want some young hot prospect, maybe a Pochettino or maybe the Ajax manager. But for me, I think all you need to do is you look at Rafa's record, CV, speaks volumes. He knows the club inside out. So I'd snap my hand off to have Rafa Benitez back. Primoji said the Saudis wanted Manchester United a year ago. But it would have cost them $5 billion. Now they're only paying $300 million, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Exactly, Robbie. And there'll only be one United in the Premier League soon enough, mate, and that's Newcastle. Well, big things. Matty, listen, I want to thank you very much for coming on today. Really, really appreciate it. You know, everybody's doing their bit, raising money for the NHS, and it's been absolutely fantastic. You take your time out, and looking forward to. I don't know, but I'm scared now. To be honest, it's better for the league, though, isn't it? It's much better for the league to have so much competition. It is, yeah. I think it'll only bring more excitement to the league. I mean, we need more competition, don't we? Especially with Liverpool running away. So hopefully Newcastle can push up there, and everyone else can start gathering pace up the league and make it more competitive week in, week out. Yeah. Thank you very much, Matty. Thanks for coming on. We've got loads of guests coming on. I've got Guillaume Balligay here. Right. Guillaume.
Hello, Robbie.
How are you doing?
I thought we said about in 10 minutes' time.
Oh, is it? Oh, you know what? I must have missed my times. I could see another person lined up to come up, but we get you on early, and we'll get the next person on after that. But it's great to have you on. I was saying earlier at the start of the show that you was the first person to say that Aubameyang was coming to Arsenal. I remember that. I remember you came on, we'd done that show, and you said he's coming, and he did come.
Yes, sometimes the information you get, you put it all together, and it happens. Sometimes it's difficult to understand that when things don't happen, that not so much that it's been predicted, but you explain that it's happening. There's so many reasons why transfers don't take place. But that one, there were a lot of things in favor for it to happen. First of all, the player thought that he was ready for that jump. And it's something that he had dreamt for a while. What's interesting as well, for instance, in terms of things not happening, and with Aubameyang himself, is that Barcelona approached him, and then the decision was not to move. So yeah, sometimes you have to have the perfect storm for a move of that caliber to take place. I think it's worked well, don't you think?
It has worked well, but I'm going to ask you now, part two of my question, is he going to stay? Because now he's getting linked with Real Madrid and he's getting linked with Barcelona. Though you of course, know Spanish football inside out. Do you think one of those two will come in for him if we even get football back? But do you think those two will seriously come in for him?
You have to understand, and I think we all do, that the situation has changed so dramatically that any possibility of big transfers this summer, or perhaps even in the next 2 windows, are out of place. I know that still a lot of people want to hear the transfer stories. I know the Spanish papers are full of them. They actually have got the Catalan papers full of stories about Neymar and Lautaro Martinez going to Barcelona, etc. The problem is there is no money for it available. So what they're trying to do, the clubs, is to reach out to the clubs that are friendly with and see if swaps could work, loan deals. That's going to be mostly what's going to happen. Yes, there is a good relationship between Barcelona and Arsenal. And yes, when Barcelona were looking for a striker and they eventually got Braithwaite from Leganés, they wanted either Timo Werner, Aubameyang, or Rodrigo Valencia. And they had the yes from the players under the condition that a deal could take place between the clubs. So it's easy to say yes, by the way. So Barcelona comes to you and you say, yeah, but obviously you have to talk to my club. That doesn't really mean that everything is done, because once you reach the agreement with the club, then you have to go into numbers with the player. But the yes was what Barcelona got from the 3 of them, if the clubs want to sell us. Eventually didn't happen, either of them, because the clubs did not want to sell. That's it. Arsenal said, no way, we're not after selling Aubameyang. In the case of Real Madrid, as well as the context of it, that is that, Real Madrid want Mbappé and will save as much money as possible until they are able to get him. He's not a target to Real Madrid. Real Madrid now have got a problem. I think they've got 36 players, if you count the ones that are at the club and the ones on loan. And they're going to have to take, the future is going to be based on those. As I said, no big transfers are going to take place. No big, massive transfers. The only clubs that have got money are in England. And they don't seem to have the intention, it seems, by why I've been sounding out the market, of spending big amounts of anybody. And at the same time, they will have to use what they've got and improve what they've got as the main target for next season.
Coutinho at Barcelona, what about him? He's been getting linked with Arsenal. There's been a lot of talk with Arsenal and Chelsea. Coutinho, could Coutinho be on the move? It does look like Barcelona would like to move him on.
Yes and no. Yet again, Barcelona need to analyze what they can get. If they get a striker like Lautaro Martinez, and there is a lot of money involved in that one, so they want to swap players. Who is there to say that they can use Coutinho in that swap? Yes, they would like him to move on, but at the same time, Quique Setién has said, the manager of Barcelona, I would like to work with him. They haven't worked together. Barcelona needs quality. That's quite clear. You cannot put the hope on a 17-year-old like Ansu Fati for all the big games. Now that Luis Suarez is coming back from injury, and let's see when we play, but when football returns, but in any case, he will be fit. With Messi rested, with Dembele also back, with Griezmann, it may not be place for Coutinho. But there is a wage situation, and there is a deal with a club that has to take place. Barcelona wants to sell Coutinho. Nobody's going to buy Coutinho. So then a deal, like a loan deal, could happen. But it's all speculation, because, as I say, if they want to renew the squad and they want to bring Lautaro Martinez, it may probably make sense to actually give Coutinho to Inter. If they want to go for Neymar this transfer window, and it will be almost an impossible situation, perhaps if they say, well, how about Dembele, who PSG don't want, and Coutinho, who PSG don't want, and try to convince PSG, which they won't be convinced. So it's that situation that we're dealing with. Nothing confirmed. And of course, what Coutinho and his representatives are doing, and that's 100% certain, is talking to Premier League clubs. Coutinho would like to go to the Premier League if he doesn't stay at Barcelona. Barcelona thinking we can use Coutinho to get one of those players that we need. So all up in the air.
All up in the air. Let me ask you finally, Guillaume, of course, you run a football club, right? And everybody's talking. Is that your actual kit? Your actual
first, yeah, the first kit.
The badge.
We've got the blue one. This is the first team, the home kit, if you like.
Very, very nice. Now, listen, everybody's talking about the big clubs and furlough and But it's clubs like your club there. I mean, it must be really tough at the moment.
Yes, we have to keep going, and we have had yesterday a senior committee had a meeting through the Zoom and internet as you're doing now. Today we've got a board meeting, so we have to take decisions in terms of prepare ourselves for what's coming. But meanwhile, we've got cost of things, electricity, heating, etc. Well, not so much heating because it's not being used, but there are things that have to be paid monthly, and there's no money coming in at all. We're very lucky that Top 11, our sponsors, have been always backing us out from the moment they came in 2014. So we will be one of the clubs that will be okay, but you have to also keep everybody together. You have to get the coaches to have an idea of what to do with the players. You have to convince them to stay. So it's not just about the money. It's also to continue with this idea of identity, of club, of being together, which we have to work on. I wouldn't have declared the season void and null. I am one of the chairmen that signed a letter that disagrees with that. That letter has arrived to the FA. I know the council has confirmed the situation, and I know that lawyers are involved. It would be difficult to overturn that, but I just feel that it was done too rushed. I wish that we were treated like everybody else, which hasn't happened. But we'll have to accept that that's the case. You have to look at the whole situation, and I know that the pressure from the Premier League to the players and the players themselves, they want everything to return to normal. I just don't see when normality will take place. It could take months. And if that's the case, perhaps then the decision of the FA to declare our season null and void will make more sense. I just thought it was done too quickly. But yeah, we have to adapt to the new circumstances. The main thing for clubs like ours is to make sure that somehow somebody can help us pay the costs of things until the moment that football returns. Not everybody's as lucky as we are. And that means leagues will have to do the bid by perhaps cancelling the fees for next season. The FA will have to do their bid as well to provide some grants, which they are doing, and just hope for the best. But I know that clubs are already suffering, and will take them away from the leagues, which will be sad.
Yeah, well, listen, Guillaume, I really appreciate you coming on today. I know that even with the lockdown, you're still very much in demand, very, very busy, and good luck with the club. I hope that everything, once we do eventually get football going again, that you guys can get back on that even keel. It's going to be really fun. We really appreciate you coming on today.
Good luck with everything, Robbie, and don't forget, please donate.
Please donate.
Have the opportunity to do so.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Alligator, I really appreciate him coming on. And as usual, some really sensible stuff there from him. What he's saying about Aubameyang, really interesting that, yes, there were clubs that are interested, but it's a different time right now. You know what I mean? And, even the big boys, your Barcelonas, the Real Madrids and that, not going to have the sort of money that, people thinks around. I should have asked him about Partey. I forgot. I completely forgot. Actually, he's still there. Hold on, let me see if he's still there. Oh, he's gone. Oh, I should have asked him about Partey, right, from Atletico Madrid. Let me ask Heavy D about Partey. Now, Partey, I'm talking about Partey, the player. I'm not on about the party. Partey. How you been, bro?
What's happening?
I've been good, man. I've been good in considering things. But how you been getting on with the lockdown?
Sorry?
How have you been getting on with the lockdown?
Man, no sports, man. It's hard, man. It's hard, man. Do you know what? It's hard. It's boring, man. It's boring. Do you know what I mean? You've got to make your own entertainment, man. Do you know what I mean? But in the days, we're gonna get through it together, man. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, man.
I've seen you they're stirring up things on the boxing front with Fury's dad and that other guy that's looking to take him. I see you right in the middle of that.
Well, you know what it is? The kebab shop that I use, right? Taste of Cyprus, by the way. Check them out. Brilliant kebab shop. Yeah, they sort of like said that they rang me and said, no, they know Mickey Theo really well, so they put me in touch with him, spoke with him, and this guy is ready, man. He's ready. Like, from what I'm hearing, like, he's really, really up for it, and apparently he's in really good shape. So it's going to be a good fight, man. Everyone's writing him off, so I wouldn't write him off as what everyone is doing.
Mm.
And you know
that video though with Fury's dad was brilliant.
Yeah,
when he's just like old school gypsy style. I'll fight your gypsy style. I was like, this guy's scary, man.
He's 27, he's 24/7 ready. Oh, mate, he's scary, man.
He sounds just like Tyson Fury as well, don't he?
He's got the same voice, man. They look the same as well. But it's the same like throw down attitude. They're ready to throw down any time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, man, you know what, man? I'm excited about it because I want to be on the undercard, So I'm excited about it. They want to put me on the undercard. So, do you know, I mean, I'll be calling that.
You still doing the boxing thing?
You know what, man? Listen. The fighting spirit's still there. I'll never hang up them gloves, man. Until like I can't, physically do it no more. While I can physically do it, I might as well just enjoy it, man.
What is it with you and this boxing thing? How do you get into all this boxing stuff?
What? It's a bug, man. It's a bug. It's a. You know what? I got into it after Big Brother with Lewis Bloor. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I got beaten. I got my ass handed to me. I ain't gonna lie. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I was like, I caught the bug, man. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go out like that. It's I choose when I go out. I don't have to go out like that, like that on a loss like that. So I just picked myself back up, picked up the pieces, and just got back in the gym, man, and just like, you know what, and then done another 3 fights since then.
Brilliant.
This is my 5th fight now. It's my 5th fight.
Jeez. You're not missing about.
Get to 10 fights, I'll be happy.
Brilliant. Now listen, how have you been looking at what Arsenal been doing? I mean, you've been missing Arsenal like the rest of us?
Yeah, man, big time. But the thing about it is, you've got the right haircut for the isolation, though, Robin. You know what, bro? I like that low maintenance, bro. Low maintenance. Everyone's getting their shavers out. You got the low maintenance isolation haircut, bro. But yeah, man, do you know what it is, right? Yeah. Why I want to know about Arsenal is what are you gonna do? Are they gonna write after season? Because I'm presuming it's gonna go on for a month or 2 more. How are they gonna resolve the season?
Yeah, a lot of the talk is, listen, they're desperate. The whole Premier League, desperate to get the season finished. I think, if they don't finish the season, they're going to lose a lot of money. They're going to have to refund back. They probably have to do that anyway because they'll probably play a lot of the games behind closed doors. But they're going to have to refund back. And Heavy D, we had on the show last night, Kenny Ken, and he was making the point. It's not just Sky. It's all these other TV companies around the world that take football. They're going to have to refund them back their money. So they don't want to do that. Yeah. They want to get the season finished. So I think they'll drag it out as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. So they've got to finish the season no matter what. What about the Europa League and the Champions League? That's going to be written off in it.
Not necessarily, because again, they're talking about playing those games right at the end of August. So they're giving themselves a lot of time with those 2, competitions, because again, those competitions have loads and loads of sponsors. So they want to get those games finished. They don't want to abandon the season, definitely.
So what they want to do is basically the season's going to be back to back. When this season finishes, we're going to go straight into the next season.
Possibly, I could definitely see that happening. There'd probably be some sort of break. I mean, listen, it's not going to be whatever it is. It's not going to be what we're used to. It's going to be something completely different. But I think that they, as much as possible, these teams would like to see the season get completed. Now, every day I've got a couple of questions for you, right?
Yeah.
I want to find out. Because obviously, with everybody being in lockdown, a lot of people have been watching Netflix. You been watching Netflix?
I haven't been watching Netflix, no.
You haven't? I thought you was a TV guy.
No, I haven't been watching the TV that much, to be honest with you.
All right. I'll give you another question then.
I've been on my YouTube channel, Boominator TV. Check it out. Subscribe. That's what I've been on. The Boominator TV, man. The best for football and boxing. Check it out, people. Subscribe now. Sorry, brother.
If you had to isolate with one person, who would that be? You can self-isolate with one person. who would that person be?
My mum who passed away. I'd love to to see my mum again, and she can cook me up some nice food. That'd be nice.
Steam.
Some lovely steam, some lovely British steam, some lovely Jamaican steam. You know what I mean? I miss my mum, man. So I'd say my mum.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I thought you might come with something else, but that's very touching. You know what I mean? The soft side of Heavy D. And your player of the season so far, all leagues in the Premier League or Premier League, player of the season, not just Arsenal, player of the season in the Premier League. Because they're going to be voting on giving that out now. What would your player be?
The player I would say off the top of my head, would be one of the Liverpool guys. Do you know what? I'll go with Aubameyang.
Aubameyang, all right.
Aubameyang. No, Aubameyang scored a lot of goals, isn't it?
Okay.
A lot of goals.
Flop of the season.
The flop of the season. I would say. Who's the guy who got sent off, man? Who's the guy who got sent off and we had a lot of trouble with him?
Xhaka.
Yeah, Xhaka. Do you know what? See, that's what I'm saying. It's been so long, I'm starting to forget the players. Xhaka's been the flop, man. He's been a flop. I think so. He let down a lot of the supporters and stuff. Obviously, he's come back into it, but I think he's been a flop.
All right. Well, listen, Heavy, thank you very much for coming on today. Really appreciate it. Tell them about your channel again before you go there.
Yes, please. Boomletter TV, right? Yeah. Subscribe, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, check it out. If you're into boxing and you're into all that sort of stuff, and you want, you like the beef, I've been shit staying with the Mickey Theo and the John Fury. So subscribe and watch some great content. Boomletter TV.
All right. Very much to Heavy D. Really appreciate you coming on, mate. It's good catching up with all these guys, man. I ain't seen some of these since football ended, so it's been brilliant catching up with them. Some of them, a lot of people coming through with your player of the season. Total Hit Sweet says Jordan Henderson. Who would have thought that he would be getting nominated for player of the season? But a lot of people are nominating him now, and he was the sort of, until the lockdown happened, a lot of people he was their favourite to win it. Mane says, Ryan, I think this is flop of the season. And this is from Adam. He says, Felipe Anderson of West Ham. He has been very, very disappointing for a guy that has been such a good player. Omar says Kevin De Bruyne he's going for. So he's going for him as his player of the season. Harris is going for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Okay, that's a different one. Wan-Bissaka. Sadio Mane says David Varga. Young KDB. There's a lot of votes coming in for Kevin De Bruyne. Another one there for Kevin De Bruyne. Divock Origi. I can't say he's a flop because he's not really, had enough games to. I think Origi's done all right when he's come in. Daniel James says a lower. I wouldn't class him as a flop either. I think he hasn't lived up to his initial great start, but I thought he's not done. He's had an impact, hasn't he? He hasn't scored enough goals, but he's had an impact. Henderson, laugh out loud. I don't know if this guy's saying as if to say no chance, but a lot of people are saying that Henderson should get the player of the season. MC Has says Jordan Henderson not even in the top 5. I don't know. I think he should. I think he would be in the top 5. Fred says Shivash as his player of the season. This guy Yanni says Pepe as a flop. Oh, come on, Pepe hasn't flopped. There's two there. Yalda's also saying Pepe is a flop. Pepe has not flopped. He's not flopped. Yeah, he's not been. He's not lived up to the 75 million, but he's not been bad. So I wouldn't say he's a flop. Definitely not. Ndembele, I think there's definitely a shout for him. He's had a very tough start to his life at Tottenham. Kevin Perez says Virgil van Dijk for player of the season. Can't argue with that. I mean, yet again, he's been absolutely exceptional. AWB, Alba or Henderson, one of those three for player of the season. I think a lot of people are voting for their own personal favourites. Zaha says Oliver Smith. Cater is a flop. Sean Brennan. It's true. Cater's not really, you know, lived up to what we was expecting of him, has he? Ozil. He's not done well, has he? He's not done well at all. Jesse Lingard at Man United as flop of the season. Mustafi hasn't been a flop of the season. Sigurdsson or Lingard? Sigurdsson as well. Guy, so much potential. Sigurdsson has not really lived up to what I was expecting. Actually, let me get on an Arsenal legend, but also an Everton legend, and maybe he can answer the question for me. I've got Kevin Campbell on. Kevin, I was just asking people for their player of the season and also the player that's flopped this season. And I think the guy he had an Everton badge on his things. He's got definitely an Everton fan, and he said Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson hasn't had a great season this season. I think it's been a bit difficult for him. You know, with Gomez being out injured, him and Gomez seem to have a good understanding, but so when Gomez ain't there, you know, he doesn't seem to hit the heights that he should. And, you know, he cost quite a bit of money, so, you know, he scored some great goals last season, but this season he hasn't been the same.
Player of the season, then, for you. If the season finished right now. No, not Everton, in the Premier League. If it finished right now, who would you give it to?
Well, I think it's probably have to go to probably Sadio Mane or Van Dijk. One of them two. They've been the outstanding team. And, you know, listen, there's times where Salah hasn't done it and Mane's been the real constant. And at the back for Liverpool, you know, Van Dijk's been the constant there, hasn't he? He's made a massive difference. So I can't see anything past them two.
What about Jordan Henderson? Because there's been a lot of people in the comments saying Jordan Henderson should get it.
Yeah, but there's times where Jordan Henderson gets taken. He's the captain and he gets taken off. So I don't see how, you know, that's gonna work. Really, the player of the season has to really make the difference. And Jordan Henderson's had a great season. Don't get me wrong, but I think Liverpool could live without Jordan Henderson being in that midfield. But I don't think they could live without Van Dijk or Mane being there.
Amory says, which club has been the flop of the season? As an Arsenal fan, I'm afraid to say it's us. Best transfer window or one of the best front three, yet we're in 9th place. I mean, Arsenal, have we flopped badly this season for you, Kev?
100%. Listen, at one stage, we were talking about being in a relegation battle, Robbie. We're talking, you know, this is Arsenal Football Club here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy, but you know, the guy has a point. He has a point. We've got a really attacking front three, and if you probably had Ozil in there as well, so front four. But we just haven't defended well enough. We haven't looked good enough. Arteta's coming in, he's made a little bit of a difference, but he needs the summer to come really quick. And there's gonna have to be some major surgery going on at Arsenal for this train to get back on the track.
And what would that surgery be for you? If you was in charge right now, what would you be looking to change?
Well, whether we like it or not, money's going to dictate a lot of what Arsenal do. But I think there needs to be a ruthless streak going in. There's been a lot of players there who have just sort of done enough, and you know, Arteta's taken over, and they're kind of improving under Arteta a bit, but we know they're not good enough. So I think there's got to be a cull. There'll probably be 8 players I'll have out. 8 or 9 players. 8 or 9, yeah. 8 or 9 players I'll have out.
You are being ruthless, man. Yeah, 8 or 9.
I'll clear the decks. They haven't been good enough, Robbie. 2, 3, 4, how many seasons now? We haven't qualified for the Champions League. It's going to be if we don't, which I don't think we are, it's going to be the third season outside the Champions League going into the fourth. No, there has to be drastic changes, and it needs Arteta to be ruthless. If it was me, there'd be 8 or 9 gone.
8 or 9. Aubameyang, we're going to be able to keep hold of him. It's interesting. I was chatting to Guillaume Balaguer about 15 minutes ago, and he was saying that the big boys that would come in for him normally, they might not have that money to spend, and they may not want him because they're simply not going to have the money for it.
Robbie, look, one thing I will say about those teams, they have pieces that could entice Arsenal to do some trade because there could be player involved, swapping players, etc., with a little bit of money. There's talk about Jovic, who ain't really getting a look in at Real Madrid. He could be a bargaining chip to try and lure Aubameyang over there. First and foremost, Arsenal should have never let it get to this position in the first place. As soon as he gets to 2 years, the contract should have been on the table. If you sign it, you sign it. If you don't, then in the next 6 months, we'll look to sell you. That's the way they came out with that statement saying, no player will get to 1 year left. Now we've got not only Aubameyang, we've got Lacazette getting down to 1 year as well come the end. So, again, there's going to have to be some ruthless moves being made at Arsenal. And
Arteta's he's got a big job on his hands. That's if we get a season back, Kev. Can you see the season being finished?
I think it has to, Robbie, to be honest. It has to finish. There's a lot of permutations with lawsuits and fines and all sorts of stuff like that. I just can't see that the Premier League can't afford to do that. So I think by hook or by crook, if it's behind closed doors, fair enough, everybody would understand. But the obligation of those contracts, the TV contracts, etc., they have to finish.
You've got a son, of course, who plays. Your son's at Stoke City. What's he doing now? I mean, I'm trying to work it. Even just looking at my son, you can't really play. Yeah, you can go in the garden and you can kick the ball about, but you can't really play properly. You can't really train properly. What's your son doing? And how long would it take these guys to even be able to be back in some sort of shape to play?
Well, look, it's first off, you got to look at the two aspects of it. First part is mental. The mental aspect of this lockdown for players is like, they've switched off. But you can't switch off because any moment you could get this call to go in and train with the team. So, they've got to have that mental aspect. And the second part is the physical aspect. You can't do any team activities. You can't train with people. So you have to be strong. You have to do, doing your body weight exercises, your burpees, etc., to keep yourself in some sort of condition. And then after that, Rob, it's going to take probably 2-3 weeks to get the guys up to speed because, they've had no contact, no team activity. So they're going to it's going to take a little while to get them back into it. So I say about 2-3 weeks it's going to take them to get up to some shape. And then, if the games come after that, everybody's in the same boat.
I know I had Matty from the Magpie channel on earlier. He's a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you see him? Yeah. Had a big smile on his face. I mean, what do you make of that? I mean, you as well as the two clubs I'm looking at and thinking, these are the clubs now that could possibly break that monopoly of, say, top 6 clubs that have been there. Now you're looking at Newcastle, who are going to have loads of money. You heard what he said. He goes, those owners they got in blow Man City's owners out of the water for money. And then, of course, Everton, who you used to play for, they've got, Mashiri used to be at Arsenal. Looks like he's got, the backing of Usmanov behind him as well. Again, more billions. They're looking to go big. I mean, we might be seeing a real change. And I keep saying it, if Arsenal, we don't shape up, we could be, further behind these clubs because, like he said, Matty said earlier, those guys ain't coming into Newcastle to mess about, are they?
No chance. Look, one thing I do know about, I've been so privileged to go around the world and meet different people, Middle East and all that kind of thing. They want to win because they see the Premier League as the golden league. So if they're going to get involved, they're going to want to make a huge difference. And, you know, money's no object to these guys. They've got the funds. So, and I saw Matty's face light up when, you know, you mentioned about, you know, they'll have the money. So, you know, and normally you've probably bad-mouthed Man City at some stage. Will you take it? And he had that right smile on his face. I'll take anything. Listen, Newcastle, as you know, Newcastle are a huge club, hugely supported. Everton, huge club, hugely supported. But they've been in the doldrums, Robbie. They've been down in the doldrums trying to find themselves. But now this could be that Kickstarter where you talk about top six, the big six. It's a big eight again. It's a big eight coming up, because if these guys start investing wisely and they start building them squads, then there's going to be a lot of moving and shaking going on in the Premier League.
Yeah, trust me, man. Trust me. Just before you go there, Kev, right, I've been asking people, like, you've been in this lockdown. A lot of people have been watching Netflix. I don't know if you're a Netflix guy.
Yeah,
right?
I watch some on Netflix. Yeah.
Give us your top 5 Netflix films recommendation list.
Films? I don't even watch.
Or whatever, documentaries, whatever. Give us your recommendations to watch.
God, Money Heist.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
hey,
Money Heist.
Yeah.
Money Heist. Better Call Saul. Luke Cage. I watched some Luke Cage just because I could.
You're a gangster, if I can tell by the sort of things you're naming out.
Yeah, you know, what else was there? Ozark. I watched that.
Yeah.
In that Ozark, and probably the Fowler. Fowler's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got
a bit of a diverse thing, but yeah, no.
There you go. You got Kev's list there. Kev, really appreciate you coming on today, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks, and keep up the good work, man.
No problem, Robbie. Keep donating, everybody. Keep donating. Be around for 24 hours, man.
Thank you very much.
Nice one.
Of course, ex-Arsenal and ex-Everton player. Those are just among us, a couple of the clubs that he played for. Love talking to him because he always is so straight and so honest with his opinions. Keep donating. Please keep donating. Let's see what we're up to on the donations on the Just Giving page. Let me just refresh there. Last time I looked on it we're up to £1,673.35. Really appreciate that. Big up a couple of people who've donated there. Dave Tamlin, James, Alex Napier, Alex again there. AJ, Southpaw Love Sports, all you guys who've been donating on there, it's been absolutely fantastic. Keep those donations coming in. Ahmed, Will, Ben Haid, Manny Man, you guys are stars. We're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can for the NHS. It's going to be going to NHS charity. If you want to donate, the link is in the description. You can see below there. That is the link to get that donation in, or you can see those 2 barcodes there. Scan those barcodes, and that takes you to the donation page. Whatever you've got, we will appreciate. Whatever you've got, no matter how small, please donate it there. Thank you to everybody who's been sending in the super chats. Every penny that we make on these streams is going to go to that charity as well. So we'll be topping that up with all the money that we make from these streams. Remember, we are going for 24 hours. Coming up at 3 o'clock, taking over from us is going to be United Stand. They're going to be going from 3 till 6 o'clock. Then we're going to be coming back again at 6 tonight and chopping it, swapping it every 3 hours until we get to tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We would have done our full 24 hours. But we're looking good at the moment. We've done 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I'm loving the vibes. Loving all the guests that are coming on. Loving you guys with all your comments. I've got Mohammed there. He says, Robbie, what made you do AFTV? It was really just to give fans an opinion. Wanted to give Arsenal fans a chance to have their say after a game. And that's the reason why we started it. And yeah, it's been fantastic. There is a great question. Lewis Pocock says, Sunderland versus Newcastle is the biggest derby in England for passion and atmosphere. what is the biggest derby in football in this country? Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to say it's the North London derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham. But I'm asking you guys, you may differ. I mean, we've got fans of loads and loads of football clubs on here. What is the biggest derby in English football or even British football? You know, because there's lots of massive rivalries right throughout. So what is the biggest derby? Would love to hear from you guys right now. This guy, I missed that one. He says it's Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Obviously, that's not British, but he thinks that the El Clasico is the biggest derby. But for you, what do you think is the biggest derby? North London derby dwarfs it. Is what Omar says as regards to Sunderland versus Newcastle. That Sunderland-Newcastle is a very, very hot derby, I can tell you. United versus Liverpool is a sick derby, says Adam. The Old Firm or United versus Liverpool, says Yao. Rangers versus Celtic, says Cameron. A lot of shouts for that. City versus United. That is a massive derby again now because, Manchester City are now, a major club. What about this one? Pompey versus Saints, says Freddie. He thinks that's the biggest derby. Let me get DT back in there. DT?
All right, man.
Still eating food, man.
Still eating, man.
Biggest derby in English football, in British football. Biggest derby, be honest.
DTFC versus AFTV.
I said be serious, man. Biggest derby.
I am being serious. Arsenal Tottenham. All day.
Would you say that's would you say City Rovers, that's a shout there, Bristol City versus Bristol Rovers, because there are other derbies that maybe go under the radar a bit. I don't know much about this one, but Melbourne City versus Victory. I heard that's a big one. He's still got that trophy there. Everton Liverpool. It's more of a friendly derby, isn't it? Everton Liverpool.
Yeah, no, they literally leave the house together on the morning of the game, and some of them even sit together. You even see it. You see Everton Liverpool fans all mixed and everything else. Can you imagine Arsenal and Tottenham fans mixing in the same end?
No chance.
Nah, mate. No.
Liverpool versus Man United. A lot of people here to shout for. Liverpool versus United.
That's a big derby, yeah.
What's this guy, man? This guy eating every minute. What's the matter with you?
Oh.
Exeter versus Plymouth. You do have some of these lower ones, Inter versus AC Milan. Listen, this is a big derby. I'll tell you, we're going outside the country now, but what about this one? River versus Boca Juniors. You ever seen the atmosphere at that game? It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Let's take it around the whole world now, right? Let's take it around the whole world. Biggest derby in the world. That's got to be.
I'll tell you one, Robbie.
River versus Boca.
I'll tell you one. Red Star versus Partizan.
Oh, yeah. That's hot. That is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, another shout. Ben Simpson is here. Boca Juniors versus River Plate. Hibs versus Hearts is a big derby, says Sean. That is a big derby.
Galatasaray Fenerbahce.
Ooh, that's hot. That's a hot. Southampton versus Portsmouth. There's a lot of shouts for that. I know that is a very, very hot derby. This Man City fan, obviously, says City versus Stockport County.
What about Panathinaikos and Olympiakos?
Yeah, but then Olympiakos are so much bigger than Panathinaikos. And I mean, it is a hot derby, but you're going
to get yourself in trouble for saying that.
I know. Galatasaray Besiktas, big. I think Fenerbahce Galatasaray is bigger though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a huge game, man. But for me, I still think I've always said that if there's one,
West Ham Millwall.
Yeah, sticking to this country, that's bad. But there's one game I want to go to in my lifetime. It's on my to-do list. I'd love to go to Boca Juniors River Plate.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Kaiser Chiefs versus the Orlando Pirates. That's over in South Africa. That's a huge game. That is a huge game.
That sounds like something Jack Sparrow would take part in.
But believe you me, that is a huge, huge game, man. That is a huge game. Kaiser Chiefs versus the Orlando Pirates. Millwall against West Ham again. Oh, what about this one? Norwich versus Ipswich. That's a big derby.
There's about 40, 50 miles between them, man.
No, that's a derby. That's a big derby.
Do you know how many tractors you can put in between Norwich and Ipswich? Come on, man. That's not a derby.
Stoke versus Port Vale.
Nottingham Forest versus Notts County.
Yeah, I think Stoke versus Port Vale once. The problem with that derby now is that they're so much bigger than Port Vale, and they just never get to play Port Vale. That derby's not as big as what it should be. Lyon versus Saint Etienne. That's a big. I watched that game last year, and the atmosphere when it was at Saint Etienne was brilliant.
Yeah.
Palace versus Brighton. That's a big one.
No, I don't get that rivalry at all, man. There's a mile between.
Versus Soonest, this guy says.
I see a comment here, and it's not even football related in terms of it, but they said in cricket, India versus Pakistan.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That is hot. That is hot. What about this derby? I heard you played in this one.
You're such a dickhead.
This is a good Swansea versus Cardiff. That's hot. They have to. I know in that one they have to bust. They have to bust the Cardiff fans into Swansea and vice versa when they're playing that game.
Right.
That's how much that one kicks off. That's big.
There's one here. I've seen someone just comment. Wimbledon versus MK Dons.
Is that a hot derby? Yeah, I suppose, yeah, because of all the animosity between them, isn't it?
Yeah, because MK Dons obviously were... They took over from Wimbledon as we knew it.
Yeah. What about this? This next one's the derby of the future. That possibly in the next 10 years, this could be the biggest derby. Newcastle versus Man City.
No.
The money derby.
That game there used to be a Super Sunday that you would not watch.
It might not be like that in the future. Sheffield United versus Sheffield Wednesday. Cheltenham versus Forest Green. That's a new derby, doesn't it?
Forest Green, man, with their veggie burgers and stuff.
Yeah, vegan.
Yeah.
PSV versus Ajax.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. That's quite a big one. I know Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke is a big one. This guy's saying Robbie versus here. Lazio versus Roma. Another big one. City versus Liverpool's getting a few shouts as people saying that's a new derby. Bohemians versus Shamrock Rovers is the NLD of Ireland, that guy says. So that'd be another one to check out. Iran v the USA. Love from Islington. Come on, the NHS. Do you know what? I remember when, what was it? I went to the World Cup, I think it was in 98. I went to see Jamaica play. And that game, Iran played the USA. And I'm telling you, that was a big derby. Iran beat them. And the Iranian fans went mental. I'm telling you, that is quite a hot derby. Partizan versus Red Star. You said that one earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man versus Stone Cold. That must be troops. Luton versus Watford, which is that's a hot one.
Listen, I still know people that are on banning orders from the last time they played Watford. That's
Blackpool versus Preston.
Never heard of that one.
I never heard of that one. Maestro Game says Birmingham Villa. That's a good derby, man.
Wasn't it the last time they played with each other? That guy ran on the pitch and punched Grealish in the face, didn't he?
Yeah. That is a serious derby. More shouts for Luton Town versus Watford. On an international level, Brazil versus Argentina.
England, Germany.
Lots for Celtic Rangers. Mark Goldbridge versus DT. Now you're going to be going on to Goldbridge's channel, aren't you?
Yeah.
They're going to be taking it up from us once we finish today.
Yeah, we've got a it's like a transfer show where we got £200 million to spend, and you know what our signings will be within that £200 million budget. I've already got my signings with a bit of change left over, so I'm looking forward.
That's what I said it'd be typical of as an Arsenal fan, we're not used to handling £200 million on players, so there'll be money left. That's the same thing I said.
Yeah, we should be experts at haggling and living within our means, because that is us to a T. So, but Manchester United, they want the £100 million players and everything else. So his budget would be gone in about 2 players. Whereas I think that I could actually pick half a squad within means. So yeah, it'd be good to go over there as well and have a bit of a laugh on that show as well. So
okay,
what are you going to be doing for 3 hours when you disappear for 3 hours? What are you going to be doing?
I don't know yet. I'll be chilling for a bit.
Not
I haven't been on it for 3 hours, haven't I? Come on, man. What? Can't I get a little rest?
No, look at you. A little rest.
I'm going to be jumping on his. I've got to jump on his channel for a bit as well. So, but yeah, when we finished at 3 o'clock, Mark Goldbridge is going to be taking it up over here on United Stand. So make sure you jump onto his channel straight afterwards. This is a real marathon. We're running for 24 hours. And we're having lots of fun here. And big up to all the guests. We've had loads of guests come on already. So big up to everybody who's been on so far. It's been absolutely brilliant. So Mark's going to be picking it up at about 3 o'clock. And we're going to be coming back at 6. Now, remember, we are looking for people to donate. You can see the link there. You can see the codes as well to donate. It's for a fantastic cause. At the moment, I think we're on £1,728.35. So please keep donating. There's also been loads and loads of super chats and stuff like that as well. So that's been fantastic as well. All that money is going to the NHS. Couple more derbies there. Oxford versus Swindon. West Brom versus Wolves. That is a hot one.
No, there's quite a few derbies in the Midlands area, isn't there? I think how many teams there are. But yeah,
Ireland versus Northern Ireland. Yeah, that is a hot one.
Jesus, England versus Ireland.
Yeah. There's been
England versus Scotland.
England versus Scotland is the hot one. Yeah. Biggest rivalry: DT versus himself in the mirror.
Hey, listen, I tried saying this the other day. What was it? Was
DT's hat versus Palace.
Mate, listen, we'll allow them. Listen, I've got something planned for them Palace Ultras. Don't you worry about that. I've got something, my own little bit of retribution. It's all fun and games, man. It's all fun and games. I don't mind. You carry on buying hats from my website.
Coventry versus Wolves. So Leicester. Is that maybe back in the day? Maybe back in the day. I'm not too sure if that's as big a derby as it used to be. Maybe back in the day that was a big one. But I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I can't really say that I've heard of any. I can't really say that I've heard of that one actually.
Did you hear what I was asking earlier? Player of the season.
What Arsenal?
Quite a few short shouts for Jordan Henderson.
Oh, okay.
Not from you then.
No, for me, if it would have to be a Liverpool player, but my player of the season will probably be Mane. To be fair, I think Mane is more important to Liverpool's front three than the other two. I think that if you were to, if you had to keep one out of those three, I think that even Liverpool fans would probably put Mane at the top of that list.
I think it's time for someone like Van Dijk to get that award. No, you think about it, right? You think about it. Mane's been brilliant this season, but even a lot of Liverpool fans have said, you know what, we haven't played the swashbuckling football that we played last season. We were actually better in attack last season. Though, don't get me wrong, Mane's been superb, but the one constant with Liverpool, the reason why they've been so good is the defence.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I know the defence has been really good in that, but I'm not too sure. Wonders of live streaming. You've got the kids in the background just right. So I just neglect them for the last 2 hours. It's fine. So what you need to say.
Jordan Henderson for player of the season, but and you know what? He was the favourite. He was a lot of people's favourite to win it. But I think Van Dijk. It's got to be Van Dijk, surely.
No, not for me. I wouldn't. If you're going left field and you're thinking of like a name that's completely different, then I would probably look at someone from Sheffield United, maybe the goalkeeper. I think that he's had a brilliant season. They've got one of the best defences in the Premier League. You've got to remember they're challenging for a Champions League place, and they finished below Norwich last season. And look where Norwich are in the league.
Yeah. So Simon Featley says Robbie versus Simon Jordan and Jim White. Robbie versus Lingard versus scoring a goal.
Wow, Simon Jordan and a bottle of fake tan.
So that'd be your player of the season, your flop of the season.
Lingard.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd say Lingard. I suppose you could probably maybe include Alexis because he ended up getting shipped out to Italy and he's flopped over there as well.
No, what about the guy at what's his name? Who's the guy at Newcastle? Is it Joe Linton?
Oh yeah. They paid a lot of money for him as well.
Paid a lot of money for him. He scored like one Premier League goal. He's been dreadful.
Yeah, but Jesse Lingard plays for Manchester United. He's meant to be an attacking player.
Ndombele, who like all the Tottenham fans were bigging him up at the start of the season. He's been terrible.
Yeah, he hasn't lived up to the expectations. If it worries me that if he gets a good manager, hold of him, then he's an unbelievably good player. We're just quite lucky at the moment that it's Jose Mourinho that's got his hands on him.
A lot of people have been saying Pepe.
Behave yourself, man. Pepe ain't been a flop at all. Seriously.
That's what I was saying earlier. I mean, but there's been quite a few people trying to suggest Pepe.
Yeah, well, the people that are suggesting Pepe are clearly virgins. So
that's very nice of you. These are people coming on and donating and giving money to the stream, and you're there having a pop at them.
Hey, listen, that's me being polite. Do you know what I mean? I haven't had a good rant in months, mate. Do you know what I mean?
You're saying John says Lacazette is the flop of the season.
He's had a bad season, but it's not worse. He ain't had a worse season than Jesse Lingard.
He still scored about 9 goals, though.
That's what I mean. He ain't had a worse season than Jesse Lingard.
Yeah. Haller at West Ham.
Yeah, that's another that they paid money for, and he hasn't
started well actually. Haller, innit? He started off well, but then he's just sort of fell away, didn't he? But he at the start of the season he was looking a player.
Well, this is the thing. Some of these players, like we know the guys at West Ham, and they've said that he just looks so disinterested. Like it's not really bothered.
Harry Maguire. Nah,
he ain't been a flop. I think he's had a decent enough season.
Yeah, he started off slow, but you know, I mean, he's looking a good player now. I definitely didn't think he's you could argue flop. Pogba.
Yeah, that
Bit
could be a name.
because he hardly played, does he?
I'll give you a name.
Ozil.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, it is what it is. He hasn't just been bought in, has we? Let's look at players. Alex Iwobi.
Flop.
What's he done at Everton?
Nah, not a flop.
What's he done at Everton for the price tag? Nearly £40 million. We pulled their pants down.
That's the thing. I think flops.
What has Alex Iwobi done at Everton for the price tag? What has he done? You tell me.
Yeah, but he's not been.
Yeah, he ain't been playing because he's been crap.
He's not been brilliant, but I wouldn't say he's flopped either.
Yes, he has for the price tag. If you're paying £40 million,
it wasn't 40 million. Was it 30 million?
30, 35, 36. He's he plays in the Premier League already. He knows the league and everything. There's no language barrier. There's no adaptation. He's literally gone 2.5 hours up the road to Merseyside. He's flopped.
I think that's a bit harsh. I mean, I've got Kelechi coming on later. I'm going to tell him you said that. He ain't going to be happy.
Yeah, that's fine.
This guy's just skipper.
No, the only thing floppy about him is his hands. He's got spaghetti hands. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you who the biggest flop of the season is. The biggest in the whole of football. Eden Hazard.
Yeah, this guy said it, Hazard. I don't know if it's the biggest flop. He's had guy's had a lot of injuries, hasn't it?
No, he's just been eating too much.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you know what it is? Now, if you're going to talk about a flop at Everton, it's got to be this guy, Moise Kean.
Yeah, he hasn't really lived up to the bill, but he's still a young. But if you're comparing Keane and Iwobi, Iwobi's been the bigger flop.
Yeah, maybe. AFTV FC flopped in the final, bottled it in the final. Yeah, I knew you'd love that one. Sean says Emery. all right, steady on.
DTS, Who put that question in? I love you.
So Pulisic ain't been a flop. He was playing well. He got injured, didn't he? Pulisic, and he scored 2 hat-tricks, or he scored a hat-trick or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he did much after that. Someone just said Luke Shaw.
No. Luke Shaw started off badly. He's picked it up. You can't describe Luke Shaw as a flop. He's had a decent season.
Tyrone Someone said Tyrone Mings.
No, Tyrone Mings has played well this season. He's broken into the England team. Now, this guy's saying Leno's a flop. He's rubbish. What's he on? Leno saved Arsenal so many times this season.
And they've got a profile picture of Arsenal. Are they actually an Arsenal fan or just a troll?
Tottenham flop FC, Mourinho flop of the season. Mourinho's not been, Luka Jovic, been a flop. There's been a lot of flops, man.
There's a good one here. One here from...
no, hold on, hold it. This guy here. Danny Drinkwater has been the biggest flop of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's been poor.
He's been terrible. He's had off-field stuff as well. I mean, he's been dreadful. He really has.
Yeah. There's one here for
Wesley at Aston Villa as well. He's another one that's not, he's not lived up. Again, big price tag has not, lived up to it at all.
I've got one here from Jaskaran Singh. And he says the AFTV FC goalkeeper, he's the biggest fraud.
I didn't see that. Are you making it up?
I'm not. I'm just literally just said his name. I said.
What about Guy says Jack Wilshere?
injuries again, isn't it? It's just, you know. What about this one, Griezmann?
Yeah, he has in a way, because I suppose when it's a mega price tag like that, you've got to say he has in a way, he has flopped, but it's a bit harsh because he's not really been played in his position. So that's the thing.
What about this is an interesting one, Ryan Fraser.
Yeah, he's not lived up to what he did last season.
No.
And obviously the fact that he wanted to go, you know, he wanted to move on. I mean, this is the thing with the old Aubameyang thing, isn't it? When you've got a player that really wants to move on. So
here's one.
Anyway, I've been asking people for this. Your Netflix 5.
Netflix 5. Bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, not the Bodyguard of Whitney Houston and whatnot. Not that one. Go check it out. Bodyguard's wicked.
What's that about? I haven't watched that one.
Just watch it. It is so good, man.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, it's called Bodyguard. Yeah. I've just got onto the how can I forget the name of it? Ashley Walters' new one.
Top Boy.
No, not Top Boy.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just started that one. But it's still a
lockdown 5, yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm also watching again Breaking Bad.
Right.
Love that. People won't even realize, but look, I've actually got the characters from Breaking Bad tattooed over me.
Why?
Right. And look, even I'm going the opposite way. Look, even his little van that they first started.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The reason why, is because
why are you bringing that up? Was you're a supporter of Crystal Met? Well, what's that?
I've got my little factory just outside. Do you know what I mean? No. What it was, right? The storyline hit home to me because obviously he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, was told that he didn't have long to live, and his objective was to go and make sure his family's future was secured. He has a disabled son, his wife, and he wanted to go and get their money. Now, everyone knows my brother passed away. My brother left a disabled son, a wife, other children, including grandchildren. And because everything happened so suddenly and there was no plan in place, it was like there was nothing left apart from just what was there and bits of monetary, sort of stuff. And it was just something that just really resonated with me, the whole program, and about family. And it made me sit there and think about my family life and, taking out, health insurance and doing all that kind of stuff. So that when the day comes, because you never know when it may be, your family are secured. And in that situation, if you were told, like now, Robbie, you've got 6 weeks to live, right? And your family were going to be left with nothing. You would go, you know what? I'm going to go out and do everything I can to make sure they've survived, because I'm gone in 6 weeks anyway. So it really hit home to me. And then, that's why I ended up getting what I did.
Okay, so that's what you've named 3. Give me 2 more. Down Netflix or whatever else you watch.
I'm watching the prison series. The
surprise.
I think he's gonna say that.
Surprise.
Like the Banged Up Abroad.
Yeah.
Where they go to like what prisons are like in Brazil, all over different parts of the world, and you see the kind of like what's going on. I love those kind of series and stuff. And Power as well. Power.
Ain't you watching this guy here? Mr. A says with a super chat. Thank you very much for that. Remember, super chat money gets donated to the cause as well. Thoughts on Tiger King? Ain't you watched that here? You said, by the way, Carol Baskin did it, right?
Yeah.
For me, the best thing on Netflix is Tiger King. That is, honestly, I'm all set to watch it all again, the whole thing. And I watched it the other night. They had they did a little sort of catch up on it where they caught up with some of the people that have been in the series. It's brilliant. It's absolutely, I've never seen so many characters in a documentary. It was unbelievable. The Tiger King to me. Yeah. What other ones have I watched? Caliphate is good. I don't know if you've seen that. I
want to watch Money Heist.
Yeah, I ain't seen Money Heist yet. Money Heist and Ozark I've got because Kevin Campbell was saying Ozark. A couple of people have recommended that to me, but Money Heist as well. People are recommending to me as well. But Caliphate is good. That's really good. I think that's I think it's Swedish, you know, but they actually they all double the things. But that's good. What else have I watched recently? Unorthodox. That's very good. About you know, this sort of it's this woman, and she's like in the Jewish Orthodox religion over in New York, and she goes to Germany. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So that's free for me. That's free for me. But anyway, I'm going to make you disappear for a while. We're going to catch up with you later on.
Tonight, man.
Let's just take see where we're at with the donations. We're up on 1,833 and 43 pence. Thank you very much for everybody who's donated there. It's really flying, but we need to get on it more if we want to get this guy to dye that beard. I still think you should cut it off for that money.
I think you should just shut up.
This guy. Anyway, we'll have you back on again later. Mr. DT there. Now I've got another guest who's come on. I've got Chris Pajak from the Redmen TV Liverpool channel. How you doing?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's life in isolation been?
It's been rather difficult, to be honest with you, Robbie. My wife works for the NHS, doesn't she? So she's at work and I'm looking after the two kids with a full-time job, and it has been an absolute nightmare so far. Like, I'm just can't. I think
she's having it a bit harder than you, though.
She's actually like finance for the NHS and stuff. So like what she does is important, obviously, because it's all important. But she's not like a frontline worker or anything like that. So, and she's actually had COVID-19 as well. So she was out for like nearly 3 weeks and stuff, Robbie. So it's been it's been a tough few weeks. Like, and obviously, then you throw on top of all of the personal stuff, the fact that Liverpool we're top of the league and everyone's bantering you all the time about it's going to get voided, and it's like it's not going to get voided.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Yes, you were. Everybody did. As if I'm coming over here and not expecting it, so I'm getting it in first before the comments start having a pop at me and start.
Listen, I was not going to mention it, but now that you brought it up, I will. Now, what's your position on it? Because let's say it was voided, but they gave.
Let's not say that. Let's not say that, Robbie. Please don't do that to me.
But there's been rumours that they could void it, but then still give Liverpool the title. Would you like it that way? Would you accept it?
I'd accept it, but I wouldn't like it. You know, we've waited 30 years. I'll accept any Premier League trophy at this point, mate. But no, do you know what? The thing for me really is that the lads deserve to be Premier League winners this season. Take the fans out of it. Our players deserve to be the winners of this league. You know, whatever you think of Liverpool fans, it doesn't really matter. It's the team that have done it and the players that deserve it, and they deserve to be, I think, in a full stadium with the adulation of the fans. You know, having us celebrate with them and show them what they mean to us is what I'll miss out on more than anything. Because the likelihood is, look, it will get finished, but we're not going to be there to give them that adulation that they deserve, or to be there and celebrate with our mates after so long without a Premier League trophy and stuff. So, well, you know, we've never had one, have we, Robbie? You know, so that's the thing that will gall me more than anything, not being able to celebrate on the streets of Liverpool. You know, I'll be here in my underwear probably just dancing around my house, but I want to be with 50,000 Liverpool fans having a beer and enjoying myself. But really, it is the players, isn't it? And they won't want to have won it like this if they do go on to win it. Like
they must be so gutted. I mean, like you said, and you as a Liverpool fan, you've done everything right this season. You've smashed I mean, all right, yeah, I was having a bit of banter against you guys when you got beaten by Watford because you couldn't do the Invincibles, but Liverpool have been brilliant this season, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They're truly, like, they're a monstrous football side. They can win in so many different ways, and they steamroller teams, and they kind of, in a way, remind me of, you know, the early Mourinho sides, because there's physicality to them. I think the great Arsenal sides had a physicality to them as well as the flair players, but also the way in which they attack the league season. I think Sir Alex Ferguson used to win the league. You know, you get really strong towards the end, and Mourinho used to go out and try and get it won before Christmas and everyone lose heart. And I think that's what Liverpool have done this season. They went out there and they just really just continued from the back end of last season, put the pressure on, and everybody else just fell from the wayside. And then I think they started looking over the shoulder, and they weren't able to then catch up because they were all looking at like Manchester United and Arsenal's and everything else, and Spurs and stuff. So, but it was a strange league season as well, really, wasn't it, Robbie? You know, or it is a strange league season. I shouldn't really talk about it like it has been over, because so many of the bigger teams were in transitional years. I mean, you know,
there's been a lot of talk where people have said, well, Liverpool have been great, but it's just because everybody's been so bad. I mean, I think that's taken a bit away from Liverpool, but there is a point to that, because Arsenal have been poor, Man United have been poor, Chelsea have been poor. You know what I mean? A lot of the clubs that would normally be up there, even City really, have not been great, have they? They've lost a lot of games. You know what I mean? So, whereas with you guys, you've just been consistently good.
Yeah, it's a strange. I genuinely think it's a strange one, because, you know, for the longest time, people have been saying to us, look, the league's not competitive. Actually, if you took Liverpool out of the league, it's probably one of the most competitive leagues we'll have seen. You know, everybody can beat everybody. Man United can beat Arsenal, Arsenal can beat Man United. Everyone around 2nd to 7th can all beat each other. It's just that none of them really were able to beat Liverpool. And it was that consistency in the fight against the top 6 sides that has stood Liverpool apart from everybody else. So I do think, you know, look, Arsenal aren't as good as they've been. Manchester United are nowhere near as good as they've been. But I think Man United are the same as they were the year before. I think Arsenal are similar to what they were the year before. Really, there's one team that's really had a drop off, and that's Manchester City. You know, Liverpool haven't dropped off from last season. So we were like, it wasn't a weak league last season when we were getting nearly 100 points. But this season, because of such a big gap and because of the way Manchester City have fallen off, it does look like the league's weaker. I'm not sure it is, but there's one standout team, and that sometimes happens.
This guy says Liverpool's social distancing from the league titles for 30 years, but
and then this season we've social distance from every other team below us, haven't we? 25 points. There you go. We've flipped that social distancing on its head there, mate.
Good comeback. We were discussing earlier player of the season, and apart from Kevin De Bruyne, everybody else it's all Liverpool players, right? Even though we spoke to Kevin Campbell, he said Mane. There's been a lot of shouts for Jordan Henderson. Kevin Campbell was saying, nah, it can't be Henderson. It's either Mane or Van Dijk for him, or maybe Salah, but it can't be Henderson. But Henderson, up until what's happened recently, he was the favourite to win it. Do you think he deserved to win Player of the Season?
Depends what you're looking for from a player of the season, doesn't it? I mean, Ryan Giggs won it in the back end of his career. Was it maybe his last full season, where they kind of gave it to him as a lifetime achievement award? I don't actually think he was the best player in the league that season. But like Jordan was one of our top players. You know, I think he's certainly, if he wasn't our best player this season, he was top 3. And it's funny actually, when the voting was done, he just got out injured, and Liverpool was starting to stutter a bit. And then I think people started to realise just how good Jordan was, and he came back. He comes back and he picks up from where he left off. He is unbelievable footballer, like so underrated.
That's right, because for a lot of fans who don't support Liverpool, they're always scratching their head and thinking, well, what's the big thing about Jordan Henderson? But you as a person, and it's always different when you watch a player week in, week out, tell us why he's so important to Liverpool.
Well, he sets the tempo. I mean, let me caveat it if you don't mind, Robbie. Anyone who goes to the footy will know this. There are some players that look good on the telly and others that don't. Jordan's one of those lads that doesn't look good on the television for some reason. He's not sticking assists in every week. He's not sticking it in the top bin every week. He does the simple things well. He'll keep your team moving. He'll win the ball back in dangerous areas off the opposition, or he'll outright stop an attack before it even gets started. And as a football fan who goes to the game, you don't always have to watch the ball, and you can hear things as well. And Jordan's a player that you can hear all the time when you're close to the front. And he's a guy that leads, and he's a guy that talks to everybody else, and really just motivates them and sets a tempo and sets a line, and will speak to people at set pieces and stuff like that. You're not always following what the cameraman wants when you're at the footy. Sometimes I'll just sit and watch how the back four are playing for 5 minutes. I won't look at the ball because I find it interesting. But Jordan's one of those players for me that shows up when you do that. And he knows exactly what the manager wants, and he makes sure that he's, if someone's having a bad game, he'll go over to them, he'll G them up or whatever. He just does everything really, really well. And when he wasn't playing, we saw more what we were missing when he wasn't playing, if you know what I mean. So he's just a brilliant footballer. He can ping the ball long, he can play the ball short, but he's just one of those lads who's never going to let you down either.
There was a guy who was just asking a question, and he was saying about Naby Keita. He's been one of the players that has been disappointed a bit, hasn't he?
I think so, yeah. It's a funny thing. We waited so long to get him, didn't we? We signed him for like a year before we actually got him in there, because it was that crazy like £50 billion deal, and he stayed there for a season, wasn't it? And that what happened then was, Liverpool fans essentially watched him tear up the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig for an entire year. He comes to us, he starts the first game, I think 2 seasons ago. We win against West Ham 4-0, starts it really, really well. And then he gets injured, and we change formation. He comes back in, and it doesn't really suit him very much, gets up another injury. And it's kind of been like that with him. Whenever he's sort of starting to show what he's got, he picks up a little knock, and it just sets him back another 6 to 8 weeks. And he has to almost start again. So I don't know whether he's injury prone. He might be. He's a talented player. Like he's enigmatic. You never really know what he's going to do. He's talented, but he hasn't had a run of games to prove it yet. And he's not done enough for me to show me that he's going to be a star in this league. He's got flashes of brilliance, but he needs consistency.
All right. Well, listen, just before we go here, because we're coming towards the end of the stream, but for you, play out the rest of the season, you think it will get done, it will get finished, and you will finally get that title after 30 years?
I think it's important that they do finish the season. I think, that obviously from a Liverpool fan's perspective, yes, I want them to finish the season. Yes, I want Liverpool to be crowned league champions. I actually think Liverpool's probably the easiest thing to sort out. It's the Champions League places, it's the relegation places, it's what happens to Leeds and West Brom and all that type of stuff. That's the messy stuff. I think if you asked anybody, look, the Liverpool deserve to be league winners, they all go, yeah. But you couldn't say that about, do they deserve to go down, or who deserves those Europa League spots and who deserves the Champions League spots. United will want the season finishing, because they think they can get into the Champions League. So there's loads of different things. I mean, look, I've waited 30 years. What's another few months for us to tie up a league title? But, I think it's important for everybody, their mental state as well, Robbie, that we get this done. Because if we're going to be in lockdown for 12 weeks, come the end of it, having footy behind closed doors could be a really nice thing for everybody to have again in their life.
Well, listen, Chris, thank you very much. Big up Paul for me as well. And to all you guys doing a great job there on Redmen TV. Thank you very much for showing support today. Thank you, mate.
Oh, mate, thank you. And thanks to everybody in the NHS and anyone who's working, all the key workers. Robbie, what you're doing here is amazing. Absolutely incredible, mate. I'm so proud of you. And I'm proud to be asked to be invited. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks.
Where's he gone?
Literally to the end of our first stint. We've got about just over a minute left. Remember, please keep donating. We're going to hand over now to United Stand. They're going to take it on. So please get over onto the United Stand channel. Mark Goldbridge and the guys are waiting there to take it on for the next 3 hours. We're going to be then coming back again at 6. We've got loads more guests coming onto the show. Keep donating. Keep those super chats coming in as well. It's been absolutely brilliant. Let me take a quick look on the where we're at with donations at the moment. Remember, please get onto the page. Just under $2,000 at the moment. Brilliant effort from you guys. Just under $2,000, but we want to take it as high as we possibly can. Remember, everything that we earn in this 24-hour stream is going to be going to the NHS charity. So please keep supporting. But right now, we are handing over, as I said, to United Stand. Please get over onto their channel right now. Smash that like button. Show them your support. Let's as well keep donating. We're going to raise as much money as we possibly can for the NHS. But it's been really, really enjoyable. This last 3 hours is whiz past. I'll see you in 3 hours' time.